All right, thank you. All right. I actually request me everybody just rename itself with the club, so I can easily identify if we get like at least like five, six, seven clubs. But uh, I will still request again. I beg, may everybody just rename itself. Add the name of the club after a name. Thank you, Mr. Lionel from Michigan. Thank you, Mr. Clement, Michigan as well.
Dragonfly Wolf there.
Mr. John, thank you, New Boys.
Has a sign.
Thank you.
By abort the operation immediately. This is a recall. Confirmed.
Percival Ali, Columbus, thank you. Appreciate it.
So the people you with your pain. It's falling. Mystery.
Guys, can we mute if you're not talking? Val, I don't know. Are you the admin? Maybe you can have not admin, but the host. Maybe if you can have the host, just mute everyone that's not supposed to be talking. Yeah.
I'll see if I can mute everybody.
I think you have to ask Evarish Kapo to make you the host. Yeah.
Boss Kapo, just add me as host for this meeting session, so I can get those admin rights to.
Oh, wow. I got an ill call.
All right, gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to the third session of the third meeting of the year, actually. We don't get January, February, and this is March. We just basically 2 months from our tournament coming up, and the stakes are high. We all know, say, whenever we reach this period, we always get build up in pressure, like because we're gonna do things very fast. Midwest seems to be like the pressure they really been up between January and the month of May, and then the remaining part of the year, everything does drop down. So I want to welcome everybody as we kickstart the meeting, and I'll call on anyone to lead us in prayer as we start. Anybody can lead us in prayers?
Okay, let us pray. Father, we thank you for today. Father, we thank you for another day, for a successful deliberation. Father, guide us, protect us, enlighten us, open our minds, our ears, and let what comes from our mouth be fruitful. Father, for those who are still to join, Father, bring them successfully. For those traveling by land, air, and by sea, Father, grant them safe journey to their destination. We ask this to our Lord Jesus Christ, who lives and reigns with you, in the unity of the Holy Spirit, God, forever, ever. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Chrissy Emma of Chicago, for that. We'll move to the next item on the agenda, which is a word from the president to welcome us as we start the meeting.
Hey guys, good evening everybody, and thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate your time. We call on everyone that this is our organization. We're here to make it work. Your voice, your input counts. Let's be respectful one another. Give everybody a chance to say something, and hope we have a nice deliberation. So welcome everyone, and let's have a good evening.
Thank you, Prissy. From there, I'll move to the next item on the agenda, which is roll call. So just look at the teams that are present. So I have Mr. Clement, Michigan. Eman Zege, Chicago. Johnny, New Boys.
6.
Lionel, Michigan.
Both there.
Oh, I already have Clement for Michigan. Sorry. Valentine Potter, Columbus West Times. Mr. Silvanus, which club is that? Or is it the guy from is it elections committee? I'm not sure.
Yes, so that's the election committee.
Oh, okay. I appreciate you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Raymond, for naming. I didn't pick that. Neville, you didn't even name yourself, but I know you're from Iowa. Thanks.
Oh, this is Murdoch. We're glad you're alive.
Neville, Iowa.
Yeah, Neville is here, present.
So I'll call the clubs that I have present. If you're there and you didn't hear your club, please just let me know. So I have Clement, Michigan, Emma, Chicago, Johnny, New Boys, Valley, Columbus, and Neville, Iowa. Is there any club that I missed?
Yeah, Babok is here.
What's your name, please?
Pasimondi is there. You've not seen it?
Zach?
Yes.
No, are you the person with the iPhone?
Yes.
Okay. Just all right. So,
Columbus veteran. I mean,
okay. You see, I mean, which club?
Columbus veterans.
No,
You pay fine. You pay fine by now. You never know what you know my club.
I skip your name because I already get your president you own. You know, I just think I club record. Yeah, that's why I just skipped it. It was intentional. We did part of a meeting, but I already get your president down, so that's fine. I appreciate you. All right, we'll move on as hopefully other people will join along the line. So the next item on the agenda is amendment of the last meeting minutes. So like I earlier mentioned, to save time, we avoid reading the minutes during the previous minutes during the present meeting because it could take like 10-15 minutes of the time. So we always assume that when we post it, my members will go to the forum, go through the minutes, and then write down whatever they want to come back and discuss in the meeting or what has to be amended and stuff like that. So at this point in time, I want to ask everybody if we have anything to amend during the last meeting. Since the minutes was there, for those who read it, is there anything you guys think I missed out or something has to be amended, or maybe I didn't put it down the proper way? So there is no amendment, I'll assume, because the House is silent.
Hey, Val.
Yes, please.
Hey, I'm not sure if it's an amendment. Sorry, I kind of went through the agenda real fast. Sorry, I'm just kind of popping in the house. I'm a little late, but we are going to work on that fourth. There was an amendment proposal last time, right? We're going to take on that today, right?
Yeah, it's on the agenda. Item number 7.
Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. So there's nothing no objections to, I think that's what you meant to say. There's no objections to your minutes from last time, right?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so when you say amendment, it's okay. I'm like, there was something that we're missing. I don't have an objection. Minutes were good.
Thank you, Gino. I appreciate it. All right, so since we don't have an amendment, it means everybody's in agreement that the minutes are okay. So I just want 2 people to adopt the minutes. That'll be all. Just 2 people, just 2 names who were present during the last meeting.
I will for sure. Gino here.
Oh, thank you. Anyone else? Nobody want to adopt the minutes?
Yes. Babok first Monday.
Okay, Zach. Thanks. All right, got it. Matters arising from those minutes. Is there anything from those minutes that I want to talk about? So there is nothing from the minutes we want to talk about. Okay. We move on to the next The next point is a vote on the amended proposal. So last meeting, unfortunately, I left very early because of some family emergency. But Gino did go through the amended proposal, and he explained to the House, he briefed the House on why we are trying to incorporate an additional under 35 player. So instead of having 3, we're gonna move to 4. And he did explain, and we all agreed that we're gonna vote on that today. So the vote normally, the president said, will be conducted by the electoral committee that they're gonna handle. That should be their first assignment when it comes to voting. I don't know if any of them is in the House. I think I saw one. Yeah, I heard one was in the House, if he's there.
Yes, I'm here. So can you tell that back again that we are voting on what? On the what amendment?
Also, last meeting there was an amendment for to increase the number of players from those who are between 30 and 35 from 3 to 4 during the tournament. If you're not versed with that, I'll go ahead and do it. President, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
Before we get there, do we have a quorum? Looking at the meeting today.
We do have a quorum.
How many parts supposed to be here? How many parts supposed to attend this meeting?
We do have a quorum. That's okay.
Okay, and then we can go ahead and conduct an election then.
President, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Agent. No, I just wanted to ask a question before they go to the voting issue, because last time I was traveling, so I went off doing stuff. So I just want to ask how do we usually come to a conclusion that we need to vote this stuff? Because now when we vote this stuff, I know there are stuff that they are not in the bylaws, but if we vote it now, it goes, we have to put it in, because so far, if we must have realized, there are so many stuff that they have not been voted, that they are not in the bylaw. Well, but the others are coming to the bylaw. So I'm just trying to be like a little bit skeptical what we have to vote and what we don't have to vote, what needs to be brought for us to vote and what don't need to be brought for us to vote. So I'm just like trying to weigh the options for us to make things straight, because let it not be like, okay, you know what, this is my domain. I have this stuff, you know what, so I'll push, let's vote for this stuff, even when it's not constitutional amendment, and then other stuff, hey, we can just decide on it. So I just need a little bit, some sort of clarity based on that.
This discussion was supposed to be handled last meeting because all the teams agreed that it should be voted during this meeting. So I don't know if that's taking us back, but I'll give Mr. Humphrey the floor to talk before I conclude on that.
Okay.
I just want to respond to President Emma's concern. So, President Emma, this is not about the constitutionality. This is an operations issue with how the tournament is going to be run, right? Number of players, ID verification methods and things like that. So this is what is going to be in the operations document, not necessarily in the constitution per se. So I don't think it's something for you to worry about constitutionality.
Okay, if you say so. So in the nutshell, you are saying that it is procedural, which is binding, right?
Yeah, definitely. Because like last year, we did make a procedural decision to say that we are going to use passports, valid passports without necessary visas, right? That's a procedural thing which we agreed on, but that's not constitutional. So this is about the tournament. It's how we decide to run the tournament this year. We can run it this year, and then next year we come back and say, okay, 4 is not really working. We want to revert back to 3, and we revert it. So it's not one of those decisions where a constitutional amendment is required. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Anyway, if you say so.
Do we have another question on that?
Yeah, Gino here. Yeah, so Presi Emmanuel, I just want to make sure that, your questions are answered before we can, move forward. I mean, we don't want to hold everybody down, but I don't want you to feel like you have to move forward because you are holding everybody down. Did we answer your question?
Okay.
No, Presi, it's a question is posing to you.
Yes, that's what I was posing to. Yeah, Presi Emmanuel. Did you catch that?
Yeah, no, see, I got it. Just what I was saying is like, like I said, this is operational stuff. I know, Gino,
Yeah.
you always be there. You try to move your own stuff going. But say anything that we decide or we vote, because it is a vote.
Mhm.
When they are calling us to vote, that means when we are putting it vote, that means it is strictly binding because we are voting. It's not like something that you put came on with. So I'm like
Yes.
trying to make it so that it shouldn't be like some sort of conflict because there are certain stuff that it has been written that you know what the constitution didn't say on this, we decide on that, and then others we are bringing it to vote. So I'm just trying to like so that as we go forward, we should try to like inculcate certain stuff that is not gonna like every time, or let me say, we just come in, hey, this stuff is good, let's just vote, keep going, and then some is being decided upon individually. That is just what I'm trying, like, that we should have a hint on. But see, so far, I'm good, though. It's just like something that came across my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. You are absolutely correct. From an organizational perspective, we want to make sure that, I mean, now that we're growing, we're getting bigger, right? We can't just make those decisions on the fly. I mean, that's why we have a secretary general who is responsible for, notations of those items that can be voted on, can be voted on. That's why we have a board. You guys are the boards that make the decision, right? To decide, okay, do we need to take that to a vote? Depending, it doesn't matter if it's procedural or constitutional, right? Either way, we can go decide it to vote on it for it to become a standard, a standard operating procedure for our organization. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, we as we go down the road, I mean, we would make sure that you guys have the final say, right? That's why it was brought. It wasn't just imposed and say, hey, we need 4 players, right? You guys are the final body that made your decision. So now, if there is something that you bring up, you could certainly sponsor an amendment to the constitution or an added you can add something to the constitution that was in there, as long as it's something that makes sense and everybody's cool with, then that's what we vote on. So anytime you can bring in a new proposal, you can propose to amend something that's already there, right? And then when that time comes, we can review it and go from there. So I hope I got your point, and I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. We do, because the time frame, we need to create something on the time frame based on this. Because if not, at any moment we'll just come up with something. We'll just pop in. Hey, let's get people here to vote. Keep going on that.
Exactly. No, and I think we do, yes, absolutely, fine tune, what times of the year, we can make those constitutional amendments and whatnot, right? Yeah. I mean, this is something that came up, if you read the proposal, it came up as a result of, additional teams and from retrospective to last year, kind of some of the things that came up from feedbacks and whatnot. That's why we brought that up, because we needed to put it in prior to completing the finalizing the final operating document. Thanks, guys. Thanks, SG.
Phone just connected in the call. Oh, give me a sec.
All right, looks like the SG stepped away for something. So, with that being said, oh, okay, you're back, SG. Let me take it from there.
Yeah.
SG, so you okay over there? All right, looks like SG is having some technical difficulties on his end.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, Val. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, so I was asking, are we good to go?
Yes, looks like we are.
All right. So once again, Gino explained the proposed amendment during last meeting, and it was agreed to vote upon it during this meeting. So electoral committee, you want to take that up, or?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Do I have Jerry or no of us in here? All right. If not, and I will go ahead and just create a poll if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, just to clarify something, it is one vote per team, right? Not
Yes.
a member of the on this call voting. Yeah.
Yep, and ESCO is excluded from there, so the advisory board is the one voting. And SG, I would say, let's just review the proposal again. So if you can just read the proposal out, just for clarification purposes, then that would be great. And then folks can, I mean, just to refresh folks' mind about what was proposed.
Right.
If
So
you don't mind, reading that out, yep.
yeah, I'll do that. So while the electoral committee is setting up their stuff, I'll just go right again. Give me 1 sec. Let me open that. All right, here is the proposal. This is what it talks about. Amended proposal on number of players under the age of 35. This was sponsored by the operations committee, specifically Mr. Gino. The proposal summary. This amendment seeks to increase the number of allowable under 35 players on each team roster from 3 to 4. The purpose of this adjustment is to support teams with limited membership by giving them additional flexibility to meet roster requirements and maintain competitive participation. So the key provisions, each team may roster up to 4 players under the age of 35. Next, only 3 players of the 4 under 35 players may be on the field at the same time during any match. Next, all existing rules and guidelines in the standard operating procedure under document remain in effect. Next, the operations team will be responsible for monitoring and enforcing this amendment throughout the season. Rationale. Increasing the allowable number of under 35 players provide teams with smaller or aging rosters an opportunity to remain competitive, avoid forfeits, and maintain the overall quality and continuity of league play. So that was the proposal that came from the operations department, and we are here now. Electoral committee, are you guys ready?
Can I say something? There is that is not 100% the proposal. The proposal, they can have all 4 players in the field at the same time. So that's what all 4 players can be in the field at the same time, because we did discuss that from operational perspective. It will be very difficult to control during the game and ensure that only 3 of the 4 are in the field at a given time. That's just too much burden on the match delegates and on the operations team to ensure that. So if you have 4 players on your roster who are between the ages of 35 and 30, all of them can play at the same time. I think that was the amendment.
Mr. Gino, is that? I don't
Yes.
understand.
Am I on?
I just copied what you sent to me and put it in there.
Yes. So once this goes into vote today, and so we have the standard operating document ready to go for 2026, which you all have seen a copy of that. So we're just going to just make some slight adjustment, just again from an operational perspective. We can't, it's just going to be a nightmare to monitor, just to make sure there's only 3 players on the edge at the same time. So we just have 4 players, just they can play. Teams can use the 4 players as they see fit. So that's, yeah. So we're voting for 4, but, we're not going to be policing to have only 3 players at the same time. You know what I mean? Per se. So all 4 players can play at the same time, or they 2 can play or whatever. We're not going to be enforcing all of that stuff, like, in terms of that. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So if I understand you very well, the question is, do we increase the number of underage players to 4, or
Yes.
we leave it at 3?
Yes,
Filling them in is not
that's
a
a vote,
question, right?
That's the vote. The vote today is do we leave it at 3 or do we go to 4? That's the vote, correct. And then there's just one part that we're voting on today. The other thing is just more from an operational aspect of it, meaning that the players can be utilized as teams need. They can put 2, they can put 3. We had a provision that only 3 of those players can play at the same time at one time in the field. So if you count out of 11 players actively playing, you can only have 3 of those, but it's just going to be a nightmare for operations to to track those players. And so we just said, forget about that. Teams can utilize players as much as they want. We're not going to get into details about how teams want to use those 3 players or 4 players. So you are correct. The voting is, do we increase from 3 to 4, or do we stay at 3?
Okay.
Grand J, I don't know if I can say something here.
Yeah, Johnny?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This is a very sensitive thing based on the way it's been answered, and I see it's good we make some clarity right here so everybody knows. Are we understanding that each club is entitled to come with a 4 accepted
Yep.
in this vote, and those 4 can be in the field at any time? We don't want to know whether they are playing 4 or 3, right?
That is
Because
correct.
somebody will go and stand and say they decided that only 3 can be in the field, and it's going to be a nightmare why game is supposed to go on. So it's better we define it here. We don't care how the club want to use the 4, but 4 need to be there. That's the best way to put it out. So it's clear English, everybody understand it. Because people will come again, those who are not here present in this meeting, they'll be the one dragging us when we get to the field. And then the game will not play on time because of too many arguments, to clarify. That's just my own humble suggestion.
Yeah. So I'll clean up it's not cleaning up. I'm just going to I'm just going to include that in the operations document, the copy that you guys got today. Pending the vote today, we're just going to update that document and resend it out to everybody. So it's everybody has a copy of that. But yes, we're not going to be mandating teams on how to use those 4 players. They can use it based on how they want to use them. So correct. As long as those players are underage and meet the guidelines, we're good to go.
There's another hand up.
Cheesehead, Wisconsin, please go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know why if we are bringing up these criteria, it means that there has been some issues, right? And we are saying that because of those new teams. Why just only 4 players? Why can't we just round it up to 5? Because if you have very new teams, like my team, we are very new into the tournament, and most people that are already of age above 35, they really do not want to play. So if we really want to play, we can bring a young kid in, and then we can say maybe from 28 to 35, bring those limits, not just as young as, because now you are just saying that bring young kid, but there's no age within that 4 years, or those 4 players or 3 players. So you can say, yeah, if you can say between the ages of 28 to 32, and then you can bring below 32, you can bring 2 below 28, and then you can bring 3 above 28. I think that will make a lot of sense in it. But if you are just saying only 4 is a whole, I mean, we are playing 3 games or 4 games. Or if you take a game to the tournament, bringing only 4 players below that age is really hectic on us. And then you take into consideration injury prone too. A lot of people you want to run, you don't get more cash over there. You see, so if we are bringing this young player, we should know that they are coming in to support. So we should put a big number in it.
All right, gentlemen. I just want to remind everybody that this was brought up during last meeting, and it was discussed clearly, and it ended at the amendment. The proposal is from 3 to 4, not from 4 to 5, not from 5 to 6. At this point in time, it's strictly from 3 to 4, and we should stick with that, please. If we're gonna go from 4 to 5 at some other time, that's still wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But this particular point in time, we're talking strictly about 3 to 4. So can we just move on?
No, Val, I think we cannot move on. Let's clarify this thing here.
Yes,
the president
exactly.
of Chiefs said is talking about 28. I don't know where he's mentioned 28 years old. The 4 players have to be greater than 30 years, but less than 35. This thing has to be clear.
Exactly.
So that people don't come there with 28-year-old kids, 25-year-old kids, and think that it's part of the underage. Underage for the tournament means the player is below 35, but the player must be above 30.
Exactly. And the operating document, Percy, you have that document that I sent out earlier today. You had a document last year. That document specifies all of that in there. So, and at the end of this meeting, after the vote, you would also get an updated copy to include whatever the vote outcome is from today. But yes, and it stipulates the year of birth of those players. So that way, even if you're going by the year, because if they are, as an example, the 35-year-olds, if they are turning 35 this year, calendar year, they can play the Midwest, right? So it's on the document. And then based on what my colleague, Mr. Humphrey, just mentioned as well, if they have to be above 30, but below 35. So between 30 and 34, that you can get. So those 4 players can be in there, right? That's why we made this adjustment. And that's why we from an operations added an additional player. Again, we can't keep going back to 5, 6, right? We made this adjustment based on what we heard from last year, the feedback, and what we saw from some of the teams that were struggling last year. So we know you can add somebody like, maybe a 30-year-old or whatever it is to help your team. And that's why we're going for 4, right? Because 3 didn't work out. So as we grow, we continue to look at all of the, all of the nuances, involved, right? We want to keep it. It's a veterans tournament. We want to keep it competitive as well, but as well as we want to make sure that every team we're giving all the teams the opportunities to come have a competitive advantage as well. So I think we answered your question. Yes, based on what the SG said, we're not. I don't think today. It's a proposal you can come up with down the road for 5 that can be looked at, but as of right now, not to hold us back, we're just looking at 4, just to add 1 from 3.
Please, okay, thank you, Humphrey. Thank you, Gino, for that explanation. I think the message is clear across all the teams. It's very clear that we are moving. The proposal is from 3 to 4, but it doesn't change the age range. It does not change. It's still between 30 and 35 for anybody who is underage. The proposal is just to move from 3 players and add an additional 1, which is 4. So, Electoral Committee, are you ready to take on the session?
Yes.
All right.
Unless do we have any other member from the committee here? I don't seem to see the screen. Do we have Jerry here? Is Jerry here?
I don't think so. Your other person is
Okay.
there.
What of Ayodi?
Ayodi?
Is he here?
I don't know. Were they invited to the meeting?
They were invited to the meeting. They know they have a segment, a time to talk, but I don't know why they're not here yet.
Yeah. Again, if I'm here alone, then it becomes difficult for me to organize to handle an election because we are still at least 2 of us here.
Mr. Eze,
I think they should have been invited here. We cannot just expect them to be here.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Can I voice my concern, please?
Yes, please.
Yeah, one sec. Yes.
Yeah. Good evening to everyone again. I just like the idea that you guys came up with to increase from 3 to 4 on the 35. I have just one problem because if we put between on the 35 and then we bring the barring, it's a blockage. I remember last year we had players even under 20 or 20 something, 26, 27, 28 playing, and that barrier was not there. So it's just the same like you were saying, we're giving you opportunity to bring 4 under 35, and then you're giving us a barrier that's still gonna hold us. Because like now, most of our players, I don't even have 30 to 35 years that can play my team. If my whole veteran team, if you want to count players that can play, is like 4, that they are above 35. If we bring that from 35 to 30, I don't have anybody that can play. So I think we should have left it open. If we can bring maybe from 25, it's a suggestion, if we could let it open. But if they say no, I don't have a problem. I just say I should voice my concern. Maybe someone had the same idea, then we can decide on it. Because giving 4 opportunity for 4 players is good. But when you block it now, it's another problem. So it's like you're selling the goat and then you're holding the rope. You're not letting go. So you have to let go so people feel comfortable. A brother was just talking about him not having players. So when we block it at 30 and even just counting or maybe 4 of his good players that are between maybe 28 to 30, then it becomes a problem for the teams that are still trying to put players together. We cannot be comparing ourselves with maybe Cindy or maybe Chicago or how they call them, Bedstar, that having like 80 members. So I'm still within 20 members, 21 members, So, well, that was my concern. I'm not trying to condemn anything. I'm just trying to give my opinion. Then we decide. If they say no, I don't have a problem. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Neville, for bringing up your point. I think once again, this was discussed elaborately during last meeting, and I'm happy everybody's bringing up different ideas on how this should go forward. But I'll still reiterate that this particular bill was proposed from 3 to 4. And I am suggesting that people can always bring up amendments, They can always bring up proposals if you want to amend more to go from maybe 28 years to 35 years, 25 years. We can always bring that up. And if the House agrees, they vote on it. So, but this particular point in time, the proposal is strictly from 3 to 4. And I'm suggesting that we stick to the proposal that has come to the table. And any other one can be sponsored. Like Mr. Neville, you have a very good point. You can come up with a proposal. Mr. Joe from Wisconsin, you have a very good point. You can come up with a proposal. It's a family, yeah, it's a house. You can always come up with that and present it to the family, and we go to a vote. If we agree, if they vote on it, fine, we take it. If not, we stay where we are. That's my own opinion on this. Mr. President, I'll give you to conclude the floor and then we move on.
I just wanted to mention that I heard, I think the president of VETSTAR mentioned that we should have invited the members of the electoral committee. They are part of the MAP forum, and I think when they were added to the forum, it was explicitly mentioned to them that moving forward they would be in the meetings like every other president or club representative that is here today. They get messages just like everyone else. They get the link. So I'm not sure if we needed to send them a particular invite. I don't know. We did send one to Mr. Silvanus, but he's here. So probably those members from the other two members of the electoral committee, maybe they're not available to be here. But what I can propose is that to make this a little bit easier for the group, maybe we can put this point, make it the last point before the end of the meeting today, and give Mr. Silvanus a chance to reach out to, his two colleagues, and see if they can join the meeting, and that way we'll be able to vote on that point by the end of today. And then secondly, yes, everybody is making very pertinent and valid points regarding how we can move Midwest forward. But as of right now, just like the SG mentioned, this point was deliberated last meeting, and we agreed that we'll take it back to our various clubs, look at it, and come back and vote on it today. So it'll be a little bit challenging to try to change the proposal now. And so I would just encourage that, we stick to what has been deliberated on and vote on it at the end of today's meeting. So if that's okay with the group, then we can move forward.
Thank you, President. So we're gonna push that voting part to the end of the meeting, and we are hoping that the electoral committee will be present at any time. Please, when the other two members are on the call, just signal me on the back end so I can open up a segment where you can carry out the activity.
Okay.
So
sure.
On that, we're gonna. Yeah, the Zoom link is on the forum already. I'll just re-forward it. Again. On that, we are moving to the next part of the agenda, which is on the draws. Mr. Gino, over to you.
All right. Hey, good evening again, gentlemen. Welcome to another great session of our Midwest Veterans Association meeting. As you all know, we're getting close to Michigan. We just want to, from an operations side of things, we just want to move the needle. We don't want to wait till the last minute to get the draws and whatnot done. So So we sent out the operations document out today. So I'm gonna pause for a second. And did everyone take a look at that document that I sent out earlier today? I would say it's about 3 p.m. ish Central Standard Time. And in the document, the last section in that document, which would be section M, M as in Mary, talks about 2026 MWVT draws. Okay, so how are we going to conduct the draws? And I have Mr. Humphrey on the line as well, and we'll get this done together as a team. Okay. So the draws for Midwest Veterans 2026 is all based on the 2025 Midwest Veteran rankings. And how the rankings are done, it's all based on how each team finished up during the last tournament in Columbus. So I'm gonna pause for a second. Did everybody get that document? Are you guys looking at it? Oh, Val, can you put it on here?
I'll forward it again, and he's on page 3 out of 5.
Yeah, so let's do this so folks can see it. Sorry, for some reason, Val can't. My Zoom on my actual tablet my computer is not working, so I'm on my phone. So I have it. Yeah, it's gonna be a little tricky for me to switch over. But if you want to share that document while we're talking, so folks that didn't get it or get a chance to look at it, we can pop up to that article M and look at it if you want to just open it on your end since you're controlling.
All right, give me a sec. Let me open this thing on my.
Sounds good. Yep, and I'll try to get back and log in here on my laptop here and see. So.
Recording in progress.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, sir. Thank you. All right. Am I still heard? All
Yeah,
right.
we
Can
can
you guys
hear
still
you.
hear me?
Yeah, we can
Oh,
hear
you
you
can
loud
hear
and
me.
clear.
Oh, perfect. Okay, sounds good. Okay. So, SG, if you want to just if you want to zoom that out a little bit, so some folks can kind of, I'm on my phone, so it's a little, difficult for me, but I'm trying to log on back on my tablet as well.
What do you want me to do?
No, you're good. Can you zoom it out a little bit? Or can folks see it? Can you guys all see the document and you guys have it as well? Can everybody see that?
Give me a sec.
Yeah, we can see it. It's clear.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So, okay, so let's anything, any questions prior to this right now? We're good to go. Can we move forward?
I'm just surprised that Iowa is in front of my team, but okay.
No fear,
Yeah.
Namanabofi.
Okay. Yeah. So again, I'm gonna go fast here, but I want to make sure everyone is comfortable with kind of where things are. And again, these are based on the rankings from last year. So we put this into parts. Okay. So we've got a total of 14 teams that are going to be participating in this year's tournament in Michigan. So out of 14 teams, right, we're gonna have on even groups, right? So we're gonna have 2 groups with 4 teams and 2 groups with 3 teams. Okay. So instead to give the unfair advantage to some teams playing lesser games, we, from an operations perspective, has come up with instead of a group kind of setup, we are going to do similar to what the Champions League is right now, where it's kind of like a league, like a league play. Okay, so teams are put into different pots, and then with the draws are gonna base out of the pots, and then I'm gonna go down to the next page here. You guys can see. So basically, just hold for a second. So pot A, based on 2020 ranking, VetStar, they are our champions. Congratulations again. We got Columbus Veterans, who for some reason again missed out on taking the trophy home. Michigan came close. They highly rated Michigan. And then you got Chicago for some reason kind of snuck in there, right? And then you got New Boys, Cindy, Cleveland, IOR, and then Windy City, our new team from last year. And then we got our guys from the Bamo guys, kind of, they came in hard. A young team. I think they're gonna be back this year. And then we got our folks from Wisconsin, the original Cheeseheads. And then we got our 3 new clubs, which we're so proud of having them. They are the last part, which is Part D, that's Western Michigan, Columbus Rangers, and then Damba FC from the great state of Indiana. Okay, so those are the pots. Any questions there? Everybody understands how we got to those pots?
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's clear. Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for the confirmation. Okay, so SG, next page, just down one. Okay. So based on those, this is how this is how the group phase these are the matchup for the group phases. Okay, so again, we've not done the draws yet. The draws are going to determine who A1 is, who B1 is, who A2 is, who B2 is, and whatnot. But again, this is going to be kind of a league style play as opposed to having group play where one group is going to play 3 games and then one group is going to play 2 games. So we'll just do a whole league style play where everybody will get an advantage to play the same even amount of games. Okay, so that's kind of how the draw is going to work. Okay, questions about that before we move into the draws? Okay, I'll take silence for maybe maybe no.
Yeah, just to confirm on what is happening on the last page. So what you are looking at is the matchups already. So
Correct.
Let's say a team drawn at A1 and a team draws D1. Then it means on the third round of the match of the league phase, it will be that team A1 versus D1. All right, and
Correct.
Those are drawn to ensure kind of like even distribution of the strength, so that each team plays approximately a team or a group of teams of the same strength. So that's what this is about.
Exactly. So we take into consideration the strength of the schedule as well. Okay. So that's Humphrey. Thanks for that. Thanks for that information. So if nothing else, we are going to move into the draws, and what the draws is going to do, like he just explained, we'll take teams from different pots and assign them a number. So it'll be A1, A2, A3. So we'll find out who exactly those teams are. So as of right now, we got VetStar, we got Columbus, we got Michigan, we got Chicago. We don't know which of those teams will be A1, A2, A3, or whatever, right? The draws will determine which those teams are. Same as all the ones below. And then that way, we're just going to take those and plug them into the round round 1, round 2, and round 3 matches based on strength of schedule there. All right, so we can move forward. At this moment, Humphrey, you got the draws. You got the table ready, right? You got the draws ready. You can take control, and then we can do the draws off your end.
Let's stop sharing.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, please. Somebody was about to say something.
Yeah, I was a little bit late. I want to find out how many polls are there or groups.
It's on the screen.
So no, we did say we are not doing groups this year.
We're
We
not
are
doing
doing a
groups.
Champions
No,
League style league play, right? So we have 14 teams, and there is no way you can construct even number of groups with 14 teams. So what we are doing is a kind of like Champions League style league play, where each team plays 3 games at the league phase or group phase or whatever you call it, based on the relative strength of schedule. As you can see, the teams in Pot A have those are the top 4 finishes of last year. The next 4 finishes in Port B. Then the Port C is the other 3 bottom 3 finishes, and then the new teams, we don't know their strengths, so they are in Port D. So that's what we are going to use now to determine which team is A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, and so on. And then we have the schedule that is shown now in round 1. So round 1 is the first set of games. There are 7 in total of the league phase. So if a team is drawn A1 and another team B1, then it's that team versus the team. Yeah, so that's it. So we don't know who's going to play who at this stage. That's why the draw is going to figure that out. And then when we get to the knockout stage, similar to last year, the top 8 teams are going to progress to the quarterfinals, and then the matchup will be based on 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, and 4, 5. That's it.
4, 5.
So that's what we did last year. And, same thing we're going to do this year.
Yeah. So again, the only difference is that we just want to make it. We want to make it even for every team to have those same amount of games, and that's why we're doing it. That's why we're doing this Champions League style draws here, or league type. All right. Any additional questions? Holmes, are you good to do the to spin the wheel?
I have a question. How was the pairing? Yeah, I have a question, please.
Yeah, go ahead with the question.
How was the pairing determined, like AB, AB, AB? Like what went in the thinking of doing that kind of pairing?
I think we already explained it's based on the pots are based on the finish last year of the rankings, right?
Last year, yep.
Yeah. So where a team finished, Vesta was the champion. The top 4 finishes are in Pot A. So yeah.
No, Humphrey, sorry, I'm not asking about the pots. I'm asking about the pairing. Like if you go down to the next page, you see like if I pick, let's say pick Vesta A1, they play B something. How was that like that pairing down there after this page determined?
It's based on the relative strength of schedule of each of the pots. So let's say you take you would want a team in Pot A to play 1 team in Pot B, 1 team in Pot C, and 1 team in Pot D, right?
Pot D, yep.
So yeah, so that's what it's happening here.
Okay.
And then because that's what we are doing, and that's what you would see in the charts below. So we just did. We don't really want to go into the details, but a lot of work went into this. We even used AI, we used Google Gemini to ensure we gave. So what we did is we gave coefficients of the teams in each pot. So we said teams in Pot A have coefficient 5, Pot B has coefficient 4, Pot C 3, and Pot D 2. And then we enter this prompt into AI, into Google Gemini, and say generate us 3 rounds of games where each team plays approximately the same strength with minimal deviation. So that's how you got those pairings.
Okay, thank you.
It's not, yeah, that's the most fair way we can do it, because if you want to do a 14-team draw based on groups, well, what you are saying is you would have groups where there would be just 3 teams, and each team would play 2 games. So then how do you determine who is among the best 8 if they don't play the equal number of games,
Yeah, and just to mention, namesake, a lot of those teams as well. We didn't just we looked at other platforms as well to make sure that what we're coming up with was actually correct. So we test those, we beta test those with some other sites that we've used in the past, just to make sure that what we're doing in terms of our calculations was right. Again, relative strength of schedule. But again, the biggest, we looked at different platforms. We put those into different platforms, and then made sure that those 3 platforms that we utilized came up to almost the same. Gave us the same proximity, and then we decided that that's what made sense.
Okay, thank you very much, Namesake. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we appreciate the questions, guys. All right. So at this moment, if there aren't any questions, we can proceed, and we're gonna spin the wheel. And what the wheel is gonna do, guys, is just pretty much it's gonna give us those teams and assign that A1. So as A1 or A2, A3, we're gonna know who those teams are. So that's what the wheel is going to do for us. So Humphrey, you heard me before, right? You're good to go if you can. Yeah, they can give you control so we can spin the wheel.
Yes, I can. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, you can share your screen. Go for it. Yeah, for some reason I
let me
can't.
stop sharing.
Yeah, for some reason I'm just having. Yeah, none of my. I don't know. I have some connectivity issue, probably some stuff on my Zoom here. I can't get into any of my. I can't get Zoom on any of my tablet and on my computer. So for some reason I'm just. You can
Okay,
work on my
so as
phone.
you can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
All
we
right.
can see
So
our screen.
I already
very clearly.
populated. This is port 1. Okay, I already populated port 1. So the way we are going to do the draw, we have this Excel sheet. So just as an illustration, when we draw a team, so this is port A, port B, port C, we are going to assign it here, and then it's going to populate the schedule. So we're going to see the rounds in here. So yeah, that's what we're doing, what we're going to be doing. So now we are in port A. So if I spin, the first team that appears is automatically A1, and we are going to remove that team, and then we put it in the Excel sheet, assign it to A1, and then we go to we spin the next one, we get A2, A3, A4, and then we go on to the B group, the B port. Is that clear?
That's good.
All
Very
right.
clear.
So are we ready to spin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then let me spin. Okay, so now team A1 is VetStar. So we're going to remove VetStar from here. And then we go here in the Excel sheet under A1, we put VetStar, right? I don't know what's happening, but Vet. Okay, so VetStar is A1. Save this. So this is being saved automatically in our Midwest drive as well. So after this, we'll share the schedule. So then we spin now again. So team number A2 is Chicago. So we remove Chicago, close, and then we go here, and under A2 we put Chicago. So as you can see here on this side, it's populating also round 1, VetStar, Chicago, and so on. So now we go to A3, and we're going to spin now again. So A3 is Michigan. So we remove Michigan, close, and A4 is Columbus. Okay, so A3 is Michigan. And A4 automatically is Columbus. Columbus. Okay, so now we have completed A. So now let's go to B. So B, we are going to create the list for B, which is New Boys, Cindy, Cleveland, Iowa. Right, so now we're going to do New Boys, Cindy, Cleveland, Iowa. Okay, the same procedure. We are going to spin now. So B1 is Iowa. So we're going to remove. So B1 is Iowa. So we're going to put B1 here, Iowa. So automatically we have our first matchup in round 1, which is VetStar versus Iowa, as you have seen. Okay, and then we spin again. B2 is Cindy. So B2 is in there. So we have our matchup, Chicago versus Cindy. Okay, then we spin again. So B3 is New Boys. Gino, me and you go wear 1 foot trouser.
Man, that almost clicked over.
Yeah, B3. B3 is New Boys. So that will be Gino Humphrey. And then, no, come on. So we go B4. B4 would now be Cleveland. So the B4 is Cleveland. Okay, so interesting matchup there. We have Columbus, Cleveland, the Battle of Ohio. So let's go to Port C.
The battle of the Ohio River.
Battle of Ohio people, yeah. All right, so let's go to Port C. So Port C is Windy City, Bamok, and Cheesehead. So we only have 3 here. So it's Windy City, Bamok, Cheesehead.
Well, people are praying not to appear with Vesta.
No, we are not. We are not scared of it.
All right, so C1 is Bamok.
Hey, shut down.
So C1 is Bamok.
Now who are the kill and first? Tell me, my blood.
You wait a little bit. It is still come. So let's go to C2.
Bamok, they get mocked, but they can't feel the
All right, Columbus, Bamok. I like that. We'll now play Columbus at some point. There's already a matchup.
Now
all right, B2, President, Windy City. Now you this.
Hey, Windy, my brother.
C2, Windy City, President.
You fine.
Windy City.
Don't worry.
Okay. All right, so Windy City, New Boys, Windy City. Gino, you and President, you don't see her?
Oh, no, not just not Dustin, man. What Dustin?
So C3 is Cheesehead.
No,
right?
I'll be very surprised.
Cheesehead. All right, so then let's go to Port Z. Port Z is West Michigan, Columbus Rangers, Ndamba FC. So Port Z is
You said we're coming with a lot of break.
West Michigan.
That's not easy, or not because he laughs so, man. We're
coming with bread to eat up, he said.
I hope say just be allowed. So they can prepare.
All right, so let's do Port D. We spin. Oh, Ndamba FC. Welcome, Ndamba FC. D1.
Dash point.
Begin joke. So, Bamok, we will ask who you're killing first. That's it. You have it right there. Bamok Ndamba FC. You have round 1. So, you have the Indiana boys. Okay. All right, so West Michigan, that's D2.
Very good. First easy point, master. Right.
Ndamba.
If football will be not open.
All right, and then G3.
Yep, with their name saying Ndamba.
G3 is Columbus Rangers. So those are the draws, guys. Columbus Rangers. All right, so now as you can see, we already have the matchups. So if I zoom here, these are the matchups that we have already. So in round 1, we have VetStar versus Iowa, Chicago Cindy, Michigan New Boys, Columbus Cleveland, Bamok Ndamba FC, Windy City, West Michigan, Cheesehead, Columbus Rangers. Round 2, VetStar versus Bamok, Chicago Windy City, Michigan versus Cheesehead,
wow.
Columbus Rangers, Ndamba FC, Iowa West Michigan, Cindy versus Columbus Rangers, and then New Boys, Cleveland. Round 3, VetStar, Ndamba FC, Chicago West Michigan, Michigan versus Columbus Rangers, Columbus, Bamok, New Boys, Windy City, Cleveland, Cheeseheads, Iowa, Cindy. Those are the first group stage games. So I hope we can take this screenshot of this. We'll paste in the advisory board forum. So Gino and I will now work on the schedule. We will put all of this information into the app. We will send out the link, and you will know exactly which time, what game. Again, like last year, we will ensure that there's no rest advantage for the teams between games. We have 4 fields, so it means we're going to have 4 games going on in parallel at the same time.
FC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, so we'll clean this up and put it in a good format for you guys, just like just like you guys saw last year, to make it make it look good. that way you guys can share it with your team members, your club members and whatnot. So yeah, but yeah, so this information will be available on the forum as well. But we'll make it look good, and you guys can have that as well. So it's already on there right now. I see Humphrey is doing that. So any questions, guys? I mean, I know I'm super excited, man, because I think I'm not coaching or anything, but I think my team has I have my team manager on here. He's already texting me that is 9 points guaranteed. So right, Johnny?
Right.
Okay.
Gino, it cannot be
All
9
right.
points when you're playing Windy City, Master. And I know we're on asking.
You don't forget about Michigan. Anyway, Michigan, we are not serious about winning this year. We just host and we want to make sure
that's
people
what I
have a
thought,
good
eh?
time.
Oh,
So.
no, no, fool win, my man.
Yeah, Granji, we
Una
take
don
that up.
sacry. Una don sacry.
I don't know where President Bertrand. Vetstar get Naushka Maxon. Every year, Vetstar they get the easiest draw among every team. See their draw. Vetstar Iowa, Vetstar Bamok,
When
Vetstar
you win
Michigan.
come, you get that kind of draws.
Bama no be small team, oh. Just correct your statement.
No, President Bertrand, that one I'm Maxon, no. If I don't know if
I know easy.
Una wait and see. Bamok go show them Pepe. Bamok.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ask your brother, your big brother Columbus. That's what they said. We send them to bed early.
Bamok beat Columbus.
I said we'll send them to bed in that very Columbus. We'll send them to bed very early.
Oh my God.
All right, guys. So those are the draws. I stop sharing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can proceed. Yeah.
All right. Perfect, guys. SG. So, yeah, guys. So from operations, just to tap on that, guys. So, we'll send it out. We'll put this in an app. You guys will have everything spread out for you guys to, to make it easy for you guys to navigate, just like we did last year. But I just want to thank you guys for participating. It's going to be a fun tournament. I'm really excited about the new clubs. And I'm also excited about the challenges that lie ahead. So before we give it back to SG, does anyone have any questions about the draws, anything else before we move ahead though? All right. So nothing. SG, back to you.
All right, all right, operations. Thank you guys very much.
Thanks, Humphrey. And yeah, thanks, Humphrey, guys. Myself, I just want to, I always like to give credit where credit is due. Myself and Humphrey, just been the last couple of days, really just put our heads together. I would say, hey, let's do this, let's do that way. He would go back and come back with something, and we work together on that. So always a great asset. Thank you, man, for being part of this team as well. So kudos to you.
Yeah, thanks, Juno. We have a very great operations team here. Welcome, Mission Tum. I don't know if Mission Tum is online for being part of it. And it's a group, very great group of guys that we're working with. So yeah, we hope we have a great tournament this year.
Exactly. All right. Thanks, SG.
All right, guys. Thank you, Thank you, Humphrey. Thank you, Mr. Tom as well. Great job. I mean, that's a lot of work you guys put into, I'm sure you guys had back-to-back meetings coming up with the best, the best way to do this so it can be even and fair. So we all know how it's gonna look like, and they've concluded. So we're gonna wait for the link to be published, where we will see the different times and the different fields where we're gonna have the games. So I think we should give these guys a hand of applause. Let's clap for them, please. They did a good job. Excellent job.
Guys.
Yeah, so
thanks,
from that, we are moving on to the next part of the agenda, which is an update from the elections committee. At this point, I will give them the floor to update us on how they are looking at things from their side so far, from their own end. Elections committee, you guys there? All right. I can't hear any of them, so I'll skip that. We'll come back to that later. From then, I'll move on to item number 10 on the agenda, which is an update from Michigan, the Michigan team. Host team, do we have any updates that we need to be aware of, which is different from what you guys talked about last time? Are there any new things coming up? Are your vendor list already out? Are you guys already?
Let me look my back. Michigan is represented on the line. Monsieur Clement, Monsieur Lonia.
Hey, sorry
Clement,
guys. I'm in another meeting, so I had to take a minute to step away. Apologies. I've been following up, and sorry, I just had to take a minute. So, in terms of preparation, apologies. We did promise you guys that we would open up the vendor information. We already have the flyers. We have the contract ready to go. We just had one or two things to clarify at the level of the branch here to sort out one or two things. So we are very hopeful that by next week we should have that information out, right? So once we have that information out, we would forward the flyers to the to this group, and hopefully the presidents can send it to their communities, and there will be contact information on there, the people you will need to contact, and what we'll need to, how we'll go about that process. So we already have all of that ready. We just wanted to clarify one or two things at the level of Michigan before we push that information out. That's one point on the vendors. The other thing is,
please meet yourself. Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Clement.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So the other thing is we are still working in our various committees. So there's still a lot of information that has to be sorted out. I think by the next meeting, we should know whether we're going to have an artist. We should already have flyers probably for the party, for the gala night that we'll be having, and what the theme is going to look like, and all of those things. So there's a lot of groundwork going on, but I'm hopeful that if that information is out, we can probably even share that before the meeting so people are aware of what will be happening. And as always, if there's anything that you need from Michigan, please do not hesitate to send that question in the group, and then we can always respond before we come up to this meeting. So don't only wait for the meeting to bring up any questions or any clarifications you need. If you have any questions, you need any clarifications, just shoot us a message, and we'll be able to update that before this meeting. So when we're coming in, we have a lot of clarity already. I don't know if I'm missing anything, but
I have a question.
Yes.
Last time, Mr. Roy from Iowa requested if you guys could have information on was this Airbnb?
Airbnb.
Yes.
Yes. So we are still working on that. We've sent out messages. The only unfortunate thing, the few that I know are nowhere close to the field. So, I mean, we can still share that information, but if you're willing to drive 45 minutes to the field from the Airbnb, it's information that we can share. But we're still gathering that up, and I'll probably share that sometime next week.
I also have a question, Mr. Clement Kibble.
Yes, sir.
Do we have a list of vendors? On my team, we're trying to coordinate to see a vendor to cook for the team. Do we have a list that you guys can share of the vendors that are out there?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think we thought about that.
There is Clement.
Yes.
Linda and I had a conversation about that. So we have a designated catering coordinator for Michigan veterans, and she would be coordinating what President Beto is requesting is catering service. So we would send out that information. Right? Yes, we would send out that information also. That's part of, there will be a flyer for Michigan veteran approved caterers. So it will be a catering. We will have maybe 1 or 2 numbers there, and you would call, make the arrangement, and then they will do that. Yeah.
So are we just going to have, if I'm hearing you correctly, just like two different people to ask from, like not like a whole broad variety?
No, we don't want to send out 20 numbers and you're calling. Just call, say what you want, and then she would be on the background. Also, we want to work with approved people, right? We don't want to take anything from anybody, put out there, and then you get here, the food is not nice and all those type of things. That's what we are
Okay.
trying to avoid. Yeah. So we know
It makes
people who do
sense.
catering service here. We know people who do good service, and that's what we want to work with. Yeah.
Is there a timeline where we can have that just for us on
Next
planning
in the
and
next week. In the next week, President Beto. In the next
Okay.
week.
Yeah,
So
next week.
I did have the conversation with she's the leader of the Michigan Veteran Ladies. They have their own group, so she's working on that. She does catering herself also, so she knows what's going on in the community, and she will be putting a list of caterers together for this event. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do we have
thank
any,
you, bro.
Do we have any other
good
questions from Michigan?
Yeah, Ezzy, my hand is up.
Christy, go ahead.
Oh, so, well, thank you, Mr. Clement, for that presentation. I wanted to ask, the first question is, I know that the flyer is yet to come out for the vendors, but are you guys going to also put the modalities for those vendors to that they're going to meet in order for you guys to consider them? Like, do they have to have a food and food handling certificate, at least for one, or something? Do you guys have something in place that the vendors will have to, the requirements that they will need to meet for them to be accepted or approved to be part of the tournament?
Yes, so we have a contract in place that will have the vendors discuss with the vendors. So once we have that, we'll send out the contracts to the vendors and then have them sign and make sure they meet all of that before we can give any approval for them to be in the village. So yes, we do have all of that specified in the contract.
So
Okay.
I think better still what the president is asking here, if I'm hearing him very well, is some checks and balance. Last time in Ohio, we had one or two incidences of food poisoning. I think it's more about the health. What has happened in other places is the like here in Minnesota, the county will have to give you that clearance, meaning you have to meet certain hygienic requirements for you to be able to serve food to the public. I think, if I'm not mistaken, is that direction that Mr. President you're going, if I'm right.
Exactly, yes. Because it's just everything you said. So let me not add to it, but that's where that was a question.
Okay. So I know there was a discussion, and I think I don't know if the Midwest wanted to provide somebody from the health department or something that would be able to do that. But we can get some, if that is, I mean, what we wanted to do was make sure people have the right permissions from within the city of Livonia, right? That's the city where we'll be hosting the event. So we'll ask the city of Livonia what it takes for vendors to be able to get that. So we'll probably talk with them. That should probably not be a challenge to get that information. But yeah, it's something that we'll need to probably work on, right? Humphrey, if is there anything because I know that
when we went to the city, right? So every city, when you are doing this kind of event, they do specify like they put it. So what if you look at the documentation we received from the city, they say this may be required, right? So all of those things they're talking about, they do have like the food safety concerns that they are raising there. So all of those on the documentation that we received, they said that may be required. So as we are approaching the tournament, so definitely it's something we have to head back to the city and then see what exactly they would require from our vendors. They did talk about, we have our own general liability insurance. They did talk about a general liability insurance may be required from the vendors, so things like that. And they did ask us whether food will be prepared at the field, which the answer was yes. And then they have, of course, these health and safety standards that they are required to meet. So I think that's where President Ayok and President Bertrand are getting to. So yes, those standards they are available within the city limit. And if need be, I think that's what you're getting at about inspection. So we can ask for inspectors from Oakland County to come around during the tournament and ensure that the vendors are meeting all those standards. So for approval, if that's where you are going to, President Ayok and President Beto.
Yeah, that would really be nice.
Yes.
Go ahead, President.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just jumping in here without putting up my hand. I just wanted to um, talk about what Humphrey just said. Normally, the health department in that city should, even if you go to their website, they should be kind of like a list on what your vendors need to do, and they should be inspection. So that is just what they're supposed to do. It's not whether they. I'm not sure. It might be different, but there should be inspection on that day, and they should give you a clearance for each vendor to be able to cook or do anything at the field. So they should have a permit. So you guys should pretty much get back to them, even go to your website. Each vendor should have a clearance from the city to cook.
So let me throw this out there. I think President Valle is saying things that he went through last year, the same things that we went through 2 years ago hosting the NVT. This is a little bit kind of a great thing here because you want vendors, but at the same time, you don't want the city to hurt these vendors and say, oh, no, you don't qualify, you're not going to sell, or you qualify, or you don't have this. What I think we need to do here is, first of all, take that first approach, see what the city is going to say, what are the requirements, what the vendors need to do, what do they need to do to meet the standard, and how the checks and balances is going to be done. Are they going to come out on that day and check, food handling measures and stuff like that? How many do you have? 2 sources of water? Do you have a wash hand basin or whatever, or pump or something to wash hands, soap and everything like that? If they don't, I think Michigan, through Humphrey and Clement, I can share you guys what Anoka County gave us here during the MVT. It is some things that are also very simple that if you guys have within your committees there, you can actually do those checks yourself to let or educate those vendors and say, hey, these are the standards. If you choose as the host team to do those checks and balances, say these are the standards we want you guys to meet. So I'll need you to make sure that you have this. This is, and I can share with you, those things are even sold on Amazon. This is how you have to have your water. This is the composition of Clorox you have to put in whatever thing to disinfect your water. We expect that you use disposables, things like that. Those are just preventive measures so that everybody that comes to have fun at this tournament stays safe. Thank you.
Thank you, President Bertrand. President Ayoke, your hand is still up. You have a point? Dr. Akat, your hand is still up. Do you have any contribution?
Oh, sorry, yes. So to our Michigan brothers, again, I commend you guys for what you guys doing so far. Mr. Clement, just a quick question. I know you mentioned that you guys are thinking of, possible artists or not, but can you guys at least do like a flyer just to save a date kind of thing so people can be aware, hey, there's nightlife, something to, because remember, this is a whole family vacation kind of thing. So, people want to plan accordingly. We know that our games are Fridays, Saturday, but there's a nightlife on Saturday. So if we can have that something, just come up with it, have our big brother Capo that, does most of our advertising and publicity to put it out there so we know that there is a nightlife on this day at this time, and then if you guys decide to change it and bring an artist, that can just, the flyer can be updated. But at least for now, let's have something going. Just an observation.
Okay, President. Thank you. Yes, we'll work on that. We'll try to send that out within the week.
Good contribution so far. Thank you, guys. So that was update from Michigan. If we have no other questions, we move on to the next point on the agenda.
Eva, can you hear me?
Yes, Gino, go ahead.
Yeah, so just a quick comment. I don't think it's a question, but more of a recommendation here to the folks in Michigan. So as you guys put together your flyers and everything, I mean, I kind of think I want to encourage you guys to also not limit those flyers just to our Midwest group. Also make sure that you can you guys are posting those, or we as a collective can post those things on the national forum as well. I'll tell you that there's some folks that are far from come from far and beyond that might want to come out and work in your area, you know, that might do some catering there or some there might be a vendor, right? So just yeah, let's throw flyers out there when they come out, and you know, make sure you have some numbers on there. And once folks from a national perspective can see those flyers, you guys might get some guys that want to come in from out of state or out of different states to be part of, to be a vendor per se. So just don't limit yourself. Just let's all try to share those flyers out. I see a lot of the other regional tournaments doing the same thing, you know, garnering some attention there. So let's do the same here as well.
All right, thank you for that contribution. All right, we're moving on to item number 11 on the agenda, which is about the membership list and the player list. During the week, I think there was a little bit of mix up. Many teams are not clearly understanding the differences between these two, but over the years, it's been reiterated. And we always remind teams to share with the family, to share with the ESCO their membership list, which is the list of all the registered members of their clubs, so that we have this list in case of any eventuality. Specifically, if someone passes on, Midwest teams will contribute $250 each. Initially, it was $750, but it was voted down to $250 because the NVT already has a scheme which is going on, and it's very, very heavy. So the Midwest thought it would not be nice to tax the teams again like a huge amount of money. So we brought it down to the very bare minimum of $250 per team. And teams have not been submitting this list. We have a few funerals going up and down, but we don't have this list, and we always request it every year for that to happen. So this year again, in the Constitution, the deadline is normally March 1st. That's the deadline to submit the membership list. But because of concerns that came in, like that of Iowa as well, the ESCO thought it wise to push it forward to April 15th. The list will come in by April 15th. That's the period, the deadline which the ESCO thought it wise for the membership list to come in. So with that, I'll give the president to comment on that, and then the floor will be open for questions.
Well, you said it all, Eji, so no comment.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions on this? We don't. All right, so we're expecting membership list to, let me check my other Zoom if any hand is raised up. Sorry, guys. Oh, no, okay. So we expect by April 15, by then all clubs must have gone through their electoral procedures, registration, all of that, and we can have in the membership list from every club. And the next part of close to membership list is the player list, and with that, I'll give it to Operations to talk more about it.
All right, guys. Yeah, Ezzy, are we gonna touch on the are we gonna touch on the operating document at all today?
If there's a chance right now, you can do it if you want.
I mean, folks have kind of looked at it. So if they have questions, I mean, they can always reach out as well, right? So, but yeah, so player list, right? So the player list per se is just so for the new teams, we have a dedicated player list which is different from the membership list. Okay, so we send out a form or a template, and you guys load up everything. You know, the folks that are going to be players, playing for your team during that tournament. Myself and Humphrey, and our operation team, we are going to determine. So usually, 3 weeks to the tournament, we close the list out. So that means you can't add any players to that list during that time frame. So let me just go through here, and I mean, in pretty much what we want to see on that list, we call it so if you guys are looking at the operating document, it's section E. It says player roster. So the master team roster submitted and approved within the deadline will be the only roster used throughout the tournament. So you want to make sure, number one, that those players are eligible. They fall within the guidelines of the player requirements for the tournament. You want to enter their full names, first, last name, as it appears on any of the documents that you're going to be presenting as a support document for that player. Okay? It has to be legible and documented on there. Okay? So now, once your list is submitted, we'll have those windows. You can start submit. We'll set out the list. You can start, populating your list as you go along. But there's gonna be a point where there's a definite cutoff, right? It's gonna be like about 3 weeks to the tournament where you can't add or do some, you can't add anything to the list. The list is closed. The reason we do that is that we don't want to wait to the last minute. And we've had issues where, the day off, folks are calling to change the list and whatnot. It's just an operational nightmare for us to go through and change those guys, change all those lists or do some updates on the list and things like that. Because we try to have a master list where the match delegates will have that master list. And then you would have your own, and then you go off the master list that you sent in, right? So basically, you're going to go in and, type in, not write handwritten. You're going to type in the players and send to us. And then we're going to go ahead and so operations is going to have a master list of all the players. And we will be checking to make sure that the list that you present during game day, would be the list that matches the master list we have. So anything that's handwritten will not be allowed at all. Okay, unless there's some kind of procedural thing that has gone through operations and whatnot, but anything that's handwritten will not be approved as well. So that list, you can add you can add as up to 45 players on there. I mean, you can use 45 players per se, but again, guys that are going to play, some teams pretty much just put in the entire member list. But again, we just encourage you to put players, folks that are going to be playing during that tournament. Okay, so we'll come up with some deadlines for when the list, we'll first of all send you guys a form, and then we'll start receiving the forms. It's going to go through the Midwest Veterans email. You submit the form, so we have dates on there and whatnot, so that way we can track and see when they come in and whatnot, and you can make as many changes until the final cutoff. So that's about it when you that's about it when it in regards to the player roster or player list. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just let me add to what you're saying here. So this year we want to manage the player list in the app. So that is the reason why we need to get this information early enough.
Thank you. I forgot about that.
The reason why we want to do that is it will be easier for us to track disciplinary fines, track like MVP, top scorer, best player, and all those things. If we have all the players list in the app. We did that for the NVT, and it was very successful. So last year we had the app, but we didn't have the paid version of the app. So we had a lot of limitations during the tournament. So this year we would be using the paid version, and we would import every player that you put in on your player list will be added to that app. All right, then another thing I want to talk about is, in addition to the player, we would use the player list that is submitted to create the match day form. I think Gino mentioned that. So the teams will not be writing anything down on the match day form. You will just go on that match day form and you indicate the players that are playing for that day. So no team will be allowed to have more than 22 players per match day. So if you submit 45 players, but on the match day, you can only select 22 that will play for that particular match day. This makes it easier for the team, or for the match delegates and for operations to check the ID. So that's the standard is being used for NVT as well. Because if you can't have 45 people on the sideline, that's just too much chaos. Substitution, ID check, that's going to be too much to handle. So we'll be doing 22 players per match day, and only those that are checked will control their IDs, and only those will be allowed to play. The match day forms, there will be no handwritten names, right? So everything, once we receive your form, it will be typed, printed out, and no addition to the form after the deadline. So we would work with the teams. Last year, we had a lot of issues. We had to actually call teams on the background and make sure that they submitted the names as expected. People were submitting just first names, no last name. They were submitting names, no year of birth. So we would work with the teams to make sure that those forms are corrected. And once we get, after that cutoff date, that is your list. We will not be adding anything to the list. So if you show up on the field with somebody who is not on the list, that person will not be allowed to play. If that person plays, that's a forfeiture of the game.
Exactly. Perfect.
AG,
Well,
can I just add a comment? Operations, if I may.
Yes, sir.
So I'll just encourage you guys to look at the comment section or the chat section. There are some concerns that have been raised there. But also I wanted to mention that it's very, very important for teams to ask their members or their players to actually show their ID so they can use that to put their names correctly on the match form. It's really important because we've seen that last year where people know certain people by their alias names or just Cartier names or names that they call them on a day-to-day basis, and they think that those are those people's name, and they put that on the form like that. And then when they come to the field, you're looking at an ID with this is the person, but the name is totally different from what is on the match form. So it's really important that the team managers or the coaches or the president, whoever is assigned to do that player list, really go to their players and say, please show me your ID so I can see the way your name is, or text me your name exactly the way it is on your ID before you send that form, because we had delays in matches because people were coming there and showing a lot of frustration that this is the person but the name doesn't correspond with what we have on the list, and there is no room for changes, because if we do that then we are encouraging fraud. So it's best that we avoid that situation way ahead of time, so when it gets to that day we have a smooth game and without any issues. So I just wanted to mention that.
Okay, thanks, Prissy. I appreciate that. So, Monsieur Roland, yes, so we will send out a template to everyone. We just gotta update it, and then as we get closer, we'll have the match day form as well. The match day form would be kind of blank for the most part, and then you would fill out with those your 22 players, and then we'll cross-check with the master list that we have. So, Monsieur Ernest, just going through here what's on there. So yes, so it possible to update the forum on those who have submitted that list already. We'll send a reminder as well on your player list and your membership list as well. So that information will be, the LZ will be working on that. So there was iPhone, it wouldn't really work for teams that don't have a complete team. Again, you have now up to whenever we come up with a deadline to work on your list and your team. So provisions, work with us, but we want to try to keep it close to the deadline so we can all make it work for us as well and make it smooth for everyone.
Hey,
I
Gino,
think that those are the questions. Yes.
yeah, this is Roy from Iowa. The thing is, we're not trying to draw Midwest back like to the how can I put it, to the analog system, but let there just be some provision to help us out. You all are aware, like we're not even up to 8 players in Iowa, so we come around and then get players around there. So if everything needs to like go the way you guys have said it, we're not like drawing you back, but then you're not gonna actually work for us, because the truth is we don't even know how many people are gonna come. But at times we just get surprised on that day. We can be like 5 people planning to come for the team, then on that day we see like 11, and then all of them are not really efficient to play. So we always come to the ground since we want to support this team going. We come and then find players, to fish players like we are playing against you, then we still get your own people to play with us. So we are not enough. This team will not work with us. Yeah, we cannot submit a list.
Roy, yeah. So we've gone through this like every year, right? And thank you guys for being part of this thing, coming in as a younger team, right? We appreciate you guys doing that, right? But Roy, the reason we're doing all this ahead of time, guy, you should be working ahead of time, right? You don't have players, you should be recruiting for players, okay? We have a forum. We have a general forum. I mean, there's some guys that are not members of teams, maybe, right? Or you can reach out to some teams that have a lot of players, type of things like that. You got to think outside the box, buddy. Okay, I'm not trying to be. You got to make it work. Reach out to people, find players. You know where you're going. I mean, there are multiple teams in Michigan area. Use your social connections. Right? I mean, we can't keep on doing the same thing year in, year out. At some point, you got to grow out of this, man, and take those things, and work with them. Again, you got to make it work for everybody, Yes, with the provisions that we're starting early and everybody has the same expectations. We've tried to accommodate you guys with, making some provisions down the road, but we can't keep doing it every year. It really pulls everybody back. So you have two months or so or whatever to go ahead and look for players within your Iowa community. They don't have to be Cameroonians, right? Talk to them about the tournament and recruit them and whatever, and build your team that way. And then let us know how we can help with some guys that we can maybe send them your way as well. I mean, so that's what I think you guys should do in terms of just thinking outside the box.
Can I add on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think what I really want to appeal to this forum is that when people are bringing up something, like a point is raised like this, we should try to see how many presidents, how many teams are coming up with this thing. Because I wrote on the somewhere that it's like this group, they're not taking consideration of population-wise. We are not Americans. We are coming from Cameroon, a small community. There are Cameroonians in Maryland. You can the challenges I'm facing in Wisconsin is not the same challenge that those in Maryland will face. Those in Chicago, in Minnesota, based on population. We are not taking this into consideration. Well, just find there are guys out there. Where do you get guys in Wisconsin? I mean, Madison. Cameroonian in Madison not reach 15. But if I'm trying to showcase Cameroonian identity somewhere, and then I'm having these challenges and this restriction, what is it that if I come to a tournament, I pick players around, I give the list? We have been submitting that list even on that day that we are participating. If Chicago are ready, they submit the list. But we are not coming to take this cup. This is just for ambience. Nobody leave their work at their family to come and make some $1,000. We leave our job. But this is, I don't think we have been putting a lot of we need to take this tournament to some level that is beyond us. This is just ambience. My understanding. Nobody's here that's playing any competitive thing that we are putting a lot of. We just type everything. I'm not saying that I'm undermining what you guys are doing out there is good. You have to get those lists ahead of time for preparation or other things. But look, let's go to the field. What is actually happening on the field? Wisconsin coming to the tournament. Vermont had met almost 4 teams without even players. They are going around looking for players. This is a reality that we see. We have a 14. Let's come in and see how many people are facing that.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I just want to add one small thing again. Please, just bear with me a minute. Bro, thank you for that contribution. Again, I just want to appeal, no matter what is going on, if a player should be accepted in the field, they should not come back like there is a foul play. Because if we go ahead, they check your ID card, they do whatever, and then they let you play. The match delegates, they let you play, and then later on they come with something like, no, you guys frauded, you guys did this. It should not happen. We should try to prevent that so that even a match is won, that match should not be forfeited. Like, no, you guys had in a wrong player or what. So what's the reason for the match delegate and the rest, or the cross-checking of the ID card? So that is where we have had problems. Iowa has had problems constantly because of that. There are matches that we won, but so if those things can be looked into E2, then that's another go ahead for us. Before you get into the field, before they let you play, you have gone through that process. Whether you are doing it that same minute, but there should not be another argument like, no, this did not go well, this did not go well. Please, let's avoid ourselves from going back and forth with something like that. I'm just pleading.
Hey, Roy. So, Val, do you want to go ahead, or I can take those?
Yeah. So, I just want to say I have a couple of hands up, please. We are really extending, so I'll call on people who are talking, just make your point very brief and let's not elaborate. So I have four hands up. Mr. Roy, if you're done talking, can you just lower your hand, please? Mr. Joseph, she said, if you're done talking, can you just lower your hand, please? So I have Mr. Raymond from Ops, Mr. Iman Zege, and then Gino will talk. These are the three. Please.
Val, so I'm just trying to respond real quick because those questions, so I'm not really asking a question or anything. I'm just trying to respond to those comments that were made. But I'll be quick because we're running out of time here. Just going back to Roy, because Roy was the last one that ended. He's mentioned something about checking. Everything is in the procedural document that I sent out. We actually have a dedicated March delegate committee this time around, and that's headed by Mr. Cooling. And Cooling is taking this very seriously, and he will be working with each and every one of the March delegates to make sure that they understand their roles during the games, before the games, and after the games. Now, there are situations where we find things after the game. Maybe there were some people were rushing in or whatever. Yeah, we'll definitely have to come back to that and deal with that, right? There's no way we're going to give you a pass because we felt like there was we investigate everything. We take time and go through every scenario that's brought up at the end of the game. We don't want any team to be taking points away from. So we look at everything, based on the situation that was brought up to the disciplinary committee. So to answer your questions, yes, there's a dedicated team. Iowa is not picked on. You guys should just take the time to do the due diligence. And then secondly, Mr. Joseph, thanks again. We're not undermining your contributions. We understand you're a new team, but again, reach out to us, reach out to operations, reach out to the presidents, asking for those players. We understand the market, how the market is, right? You smaller nation, again, you guys can find other players. Again, I've said it's not just Cameroonian things. I believe there are some other people in your area that can play soccer that want to join you. So just think outside of the box, bro, right? And let us know how we can help. I'll give you a lot of ideas as well. So thanks, Val. You can move ahead with the hands up.
All right. Mr. Raymond Ops, your hand was initially up before Mr. Imanzega. Raymond, please.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I'm speaking out as the Ops Committee supporting Humphrey and Gino. I know I've handed over my representative to John, who's here, the new boys rep. But just to, I don't want to waste time. I'll be very quick, 1 minute. Just to add what Gino has said, please, Mr. Roy, we have done this, you and I, in the field for the past 2-3 years. And I keep telling you, Mr. Roy, with all due respect, that when you go back, start to look for players. Don't come the day on the soccer field and you're calling me, telling me, Master, now they come on, Mr. Hamid, put the day with me. So I haven't get a call from you. I'm just being very honest. I know you don't know me. I'm the guy. I'm just being very honest. I told you, come back, call me. Let's figure out how we can get players. Because Iowa to Minnesota is a stone throw. We can get players, help you to get players here, and you fly them or you drive them over to Michigan. I will play the tournament. We understand you guys tried. We get it. But it's a simple outreach communication. If you reach out and then we don't help, then there's a problem. To the guy in sorry, I don't know his name, in Madison. I understand you guys I've been to Madison. There are not a lot of Cambodians, but outreach is a key to this. Don't come under there on the soccer field when there's a list and then you're trying to tell me, but how many people come up with Mr. Wade, what I give me? No, for me, I'll be lost because you tell someone at that point he's asking you for $500, $1,000. You should not get that kind of money. But again, it lies down to outreach. Thank you, Mr. LG. But I will say, reach out to me, Gino, and President Beckham, who is there. We can help you to sort out players from Minnesota. If for Chicago, reach out to them, LG or President Akam, to help you. Then we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond. Mr. Manzega.
Yeah, thank you, SJ. Yeah, what I really wanted to say, Gino has already made mention A little bit, yeah. I just wanted to tell Mr. Roy that admission into the fee and playing in tournament does not forbid investigation on a player or on the team. Those are certain stuff people need to put in their mind. The fact that the match delegate have gone through your document, you get into the fee per playing doesn't mean that if you people did any fault or something was done wrong, it's completed. No, you may be fortunate. People don't discover it, you go free. But if after the investigate, they realize that there was something done that was not good, that was against the rule, they will still gonna come back to you. So I'm just saying that we just need to be careful. We just need to know what we are doing. We know, follow the rule, the procedure. It doesn't mean that when you win and then they come and cancel your match, they are like, hey, you did this. Just like you start arguing, why did you allow this person to do this? Why did you? Also, it is our responsibility to know, to check before then, so that at least we don't fall into trouble. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Prissy.
Thank you.
We've had a lot of speakers on that point. I want to thank everybody who contributed, but I'll reiterate one thing, please. Point number one, please do not come with the intent to cheat. It's very important. Please, please, please do not come with the intent to cheat in any game. Do not come with the intent to fill in ineligible players. Do not come with the intent thinking that you can just crowd around the match delegates bench and then you can just maneuver things, and then people go in the field. All these things will always come back to haunt your team. It will always come back. And also remember, we have ample time before the tournament for you to fish your players. That's why the operations is requesting that you send in typed names, not handwritten names, typed names. Everything will be in the system so that they don't come to the field and then they start drawing things back and forth. If we're trying to take the organization forward, please, let's do it together. Let's not try to find the loopholes that will be bringing us backwards and taking us back to things that we are trying to avoid. If we want to put in the rules, we want to make things better, let's find ways to move forward rather than trying to bring us back. That's what I want to talk about this point. Dr. Ernest, Chicago.
Thank you, Mr. SD. Roy, I just want to come back to this point, Roy, because it shouldn't sound as if the Midwest is batching you guys. I'll tell you that even us, Chicago, we've been in this thing for some time, but we also have to go out and actually do work to be able to get players. And I believe SJ and President Akkad would tell you the same. So I think it's just an encouragement. You guys shouldn't feel like we are trying to suppress, or the Midwest is trying to suppress you guys. It takes time to do these things, and I think it's just an encouragement for you to start doing it now. It is possible, it's feasible, like they have mentioned. So please take it lightheartedly and just do the homework, and you'll get the players before that day so that this thing can be better organized. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ernest. And with that, President, anything to conclude on this point? If not, we'll move forward.
No, I think it's said, all has been said, so we should be able to move forward. Everybody at least get it.
I lost track of. Oh, I got it. Okay. The next point on the agenda is an update from the committees. As we all remember, during the last meeting, there were various committees that the president reminded all of us that were already in existence. And this year they have been enhanced. So if the various committee heads are there and they have any update on their various committees, please, this is the time. Just indicate, and then you have the floor. The ref committee, are they the head? Is he there?
I saw Dave was on earlier on. He might have dropped off though.
Okay. Payroll committee, any update for us?
Okay. I saw it. I am but I'm in a noisy area. I've got 228. But the reference thing is going just fine. We have everyone that is supposed to be there. We put out the list of the numbers we've had so far. And I will update as we go. So we're making progress.
Thank you for that. So we already have an update on operations. That's done. Rev just spoke. Electoral committee hasn't indicated yet if they are available or not.
I can talk about PR, the
PR,
publicity PR. No,
please go ahead.
PR. So I don't see Evariste Capo here, but I did speak with Evariste Capo. So contact between Evariste and the Michigan PR has been created. So if you see, like Evariste is the one mostly sending out the flyers now from Michigan. So we had a call with him. He advised us on. Evariste is really, first of all, I want to thank him again on behalf of Michigan for what he's trying to do for us. Or what I mean, we had a very good call. We talked about how we can not just publicity per se, moving the tournament forward, but he also advised us on what we can do in terms of our parties, nightlife, even entertainment on the field and things like that. So we have a very good conversation. That contact has already been established, and we will be working together with Evariste Capo going forward. So.
Thank you, Mr. Humphrey. Match Delegate Committee, Mr. Colin, are you on the call? Colin, are you there?
Yes, good evening, gentlemen. Yeah, concerning the match delegate, right now, I don't really have much to do because we are still expecting all the teams to send in their two match delegates representatives. So once that is done, then we can start moving forward. And I think that the group will decide when we need all those lists in. And just a reminder, the last meeting, the group was informed that the executive proposed and it's more remuneration for the match delegates. So they'll have like a daily, maybe a certain remuneration per game. I think it was adopted for $25 per game for each match delegate. So that we want them to take things more serious and to be more objective when they're officiating any game. So we'll just encourage all the teams to make sure they can send in their 2 match delegates per team. They should come in before the deadline that will be set up so that we can start working with them, trying to guide them on what are the expectations of the tournament. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Colin. I just want to remind everyone that clearly it's supposed to be March 1st for the deadline for the match delegates. It's supposed to be March 1st. However, this will be included at the same time you're sending in your player list. So please, clubs, take that serious. If you already have the various clubs, if you already have your match delegate, please send the names in so they can be added into the match delegate forum where Mr. Colin is headed, so he can start guiding them as things will progress. So, Mr. Gino, your hand was up earlier, please.
Yeah. So I just want to, I know we kind of skipped that a little bit, but I'm not going to go into the entirety of the document, but I just wanted to highlight a few things because a couple of guys had reached out or teams had reached out just about the player eligibility and the player ID requirements for the Midwest tournament. So it's in the document that I sent out. Pending the vote on the 4th player, will update and resend that document out. So everything should be in there. If people have questions about everything on that document, it talks about player eligibility, age exception, player ID, game time, everything, roster, everything that it's a whole document. So we can't go into every single part today. But I know the biggest thing that came up was player IDs and whatever that came up, and it's kind of a big deal. So we just want to just highlight those as well in terms of what they are. So guys, take a look at it. But just key provisions to meet. 1991 is a benchmark year of a bit of the bet for your players. So 1991, they'll be 35 years old or above 30, they can play. Your 2 players under 35 should be between the years of 1992 and 1996. It's in there. That's a player eligibility, a player ID, U.S. state issued driver's license or state issued ID card, U.S. government issued passport, and a valid foreign passport. I know we're kind of going back and forth on there in regards to the visas in there. So it should have your first and last name, as well as date of birth as indicated on the team submitted roster. So you guys got to make sure that the ID that they propose or send to us has it matches every corresponding document that they have to prove who they are. Okay, and then everything else is on that document, match delegates, like I said, game timing and everything. So, but go through it, guys. You can always kind of reach out to Ops Committee or pose your questions in the advisory board for us to deliberate afterwards. Thanks, SG.
Thank you, Mr. Gino. I haven't had any indication from the electoral committee yet. Are they, the three guys, are you available now or not yet? Still not.
SG, just a
Yes.
proposal. Why do we need the electoral committee just to vote on a procedural amendment for the ops? I mean, if they are not ready, we can conduct the vote, right? Because we need to update the operating document and send that out. We have quorum.
We'll go ahead with it, but I'll give them to the end of the meeting. If they are not, then we'll take it over on the right.
Okay.
Yeah. So item number 13 on the agenda, which is an update on Midwest finances and disbursements and all of that. So I'll give that to Mr. Humphrey.
All right. Thank you, SG. So I did present a financial report which was published on the ESCO forum a while back. That was the financial report for 2025. So this year, 2026, I didn't do a financial report now because we still have some things outstanding. But before the start of the tournament, I would put out a financial report, a detailed financial report, to show the state of our coffers before we go into the tournament. The reason being that most of our expenses occur a few months before the tournament and during the tournament itself. So I would do one just to show what we are going in, and then after that, we'll do another one. But just a financial update. Right now, we have $21,983.99 in our coffers. So that's the money we have on hand right now. After the financial report that I did for last year, we did get some income, which is based mostly the tournament commitment and participation fees from all the 14 teams. We have some expenses, which is we did send out 50% of what we contributed for the tournament and participation fee from the teams to Michigan. That's the standard which we established last year. So 50% of that amount was sent to Michigan, which is a total of $8,400. So the $8,400 is the 1,200 commitment fees multiplied by 14 divided by 2. So you notice each team is paying 1,300. We didn't send the 100. We didn't include the $100 in the commitment in what was sent to Michigan, because that will be used to finance the daily or per match stipend, which will be given out to the match delegates. So the match delegates will get. We adopted $25 per game per match delegate. So that's the amount, the allocation will come from the $100 that was paid by the teams. Another expense which we had was the non-profit renewal. So we are a non-profit based in the state of Minnesota. So we did spend $235 for our non-profit renewal. And finally, the inspection. Gino and Frank Abange were here to inspect for the Midwest Ops team inspection as required. So they came to Michigan to visit, to inspect our facilities, and also talk with Michigan about the tournament readiness. So we covered the expense for that for both Gino and Frank. Rental cars, fuel, hotel, flight ticket for Gino from Minnesota to here. That total was $903.16. So that's a rough approximation of what we've had in terms of what we have on hand, what we did receive as income, and the expenses. So a detailed report will be published before the tournament. We do have some outstanding money. That is for the fines for the semifinal and final games. in the 2025 edition in Columbus. So those yellow cards, red cards in the semifinals and finals. So Gino and I would work on that. We have to go back to the match forms to now look at what outstanding fines are for the teams, and we would also be submitting that for the teams to pay any outstanding fines before the start of the tournament. I know there's a player suspension from Chicago as well. That will all be factored in before the start of the tournament. And then one other thing which we usually do here, right? There is a $50 penalty for non-participation in Midwest meetings. So SG, I would need your help on that because we need to compile a list of attendance from the start of the year to know what penalty each team is facing, so that we can have them pay all of those before the start of the tournament. And again, based on our guidelines, any team is expected to start the tournament with 0 financial obligations left in the Midwest. So if you have outstanding fines, we will publish that list as soon as possible so that teams can, pay all of those. Because if you are not in good financial standing, then you may not be allowed to play your first game in the tournament.
Thank you, Mr. Humphrey, for that great presentation. Just a reminder to everyone, Mr. Humphrey is actually the Midwest Financial Secretary, but then he is very, very instrumental when it comes to the operations department as well. So I just have to clear that out there. And Mr. Dan Teba is the treasurer for the Midwest. I just have to clear so people should know who is who at some point for those who are a little bit confused. So any questions for now?
Yeah, I have a question regarding the finances and how the budget is allocated. Sorry, I didn't raise my hand.
All right, don't go ahead.
So if you spend $900 to fly in Gino and ops teams to complete whatever they were doing the inspection. So I'm just wondering, like, during the course of the year, do we have a budget, like a budget allocation for all these things, or is just kind of an impromptu decision that when this is happening, we go into the coffers, we remove, and we execute this function? It's just a question, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, just from an operations perspective, yeah, I think the baseline for operations is always to keep it under $1,000. So we find ways to come up with, to keep the entirety of the visit under about $1,000. I believe that's a benchmark. Maybe that's what Ezra was gonna mention, or the president, but I think that's the baseline, is to keep that under $1,000 and not just go spend money, right? We could have been spending $5,000. We don't want to do that. So I get your point. No, I think 1,000 was a benchmark, and it's to get ahead of time to those places to look at the locations and whatnot. So I think that was a benchmark. I might be wrong, about somewhere between $1,000 and $1,200, somewhere in there. But they
just to add to what you said. So yes, I think the benchmark, we put a benchmark around 1,000, right? I don't know whether it's 1,000 low, 1,100, 200. So that's the benchmark. And then also it has to do with the number of people that are going out.
Exactly.
So this year it's 2 people. It was Gino and Frank. So Frank actually drove from Colombo. So Frank's expense was just $100 for the car rental for the day and the gas. So it was Gino, because Gino had to fly in, and then of course when you fly in from the airport to the park, you needed a rental, and it was just a 1 day, 1 night thing, right? So we are mindful of that expense. So it's not like operations is sending out the entire operations team, right? It's just going to be always 1 or 2 people going there to do this inspection. So this inspection, again, if you're doubting it, it is mandated for the Midwest host. Right. So last year, President Ayo was the one who did that in Columbus. So President Ayo actually visited Columbus to ensure that Columbus was ready to host the tournament. So this year, it was Gino and Frank who did it. So next year, there would, of course, be another inspection for whoever is hosting the tournament. Then to talk about the budget. So we don't, the way Midwest operates is we get our main source of income right now is from the member tournament commitment and participation fees, right? So that's why we keep 50% of that for the Midwest. So it's the money is used for the trophies, the player award, individual outstanding player awards, best goalkeeper, top scorer, MVP of the tournament, and then the other part is spent on the medals. Then whatever is left is used for running the Midwest per se. Then we also get like all these yellow card, red card fines. That's what we use to generate. Last year we did have some generous contributions, maybe from like President Vali Esaka of NVT. So we don't have sponsorships for now. That's what we should be looking in going forward. But again,
yeah, we're actually working on those. Yep.
Yeah, but I would say this. I think so far we have done a pretty good job of managing the Midwest finances. That's why even after disbursing this 50%, we still have that much in the coffers. Of course, it's going to reduce when we purchase the trophies. So we expect to buy trophies. Of course, then the tournament, whatever we pay out for the winner, second place, third place, best player, and so on. So that money is going to go down. But yeah, I think so far we are in good financial footing.
All right, thank you, Gino. Thank you, Humphrey. I mean, I wasn't like kind of doubting namesake, but I just think that like at the beginning, if you have like a budget, right, it's going to, and you put it out there, you know, like you said, you might have a free will donation from somebody, so that we know that okay, we are anticipating we need this much for expenditure to run the organization for the year. You know, so that in case if we are short somewhere, I mean, and you send out a request, people can actually chip in. That's where I'm coming from, you know, and then that also helps with some kind of transparency and things like that. I mean, you might have a budget, and at the end of the day, you actually don't use all, or you go over your budget, you know, things like that. That's all I wanted to point out. Thank you.
No, good. No, great point. And I think so far it's been transparent. And I know Humphrey brought up one point. The biggest thing that we've been really trying to you know, we have some plans in place, and you know, we'll share those plans. Is really about sponsorship, right? Going out and generating some income for this organization. So that we have works in place. You know, I have a background in kind of doing some of those things as well. So we're going to unveil a platform on how to actually work with sponsors and how to get them on board to support our organization. And they will have different tiers of sponsorship that they can come into board, and yeah, we'll share all this information with folks. So that's one point we know we've been kind of talking about, but we are going to implement that as soon as possible. So, but no, thanks. Great questions there.
All right, I wanted to mention that, you know, I think this year, for the 2026 tournament is actually the first time that we are actually making an expense for someone to go and, you know, observe or, you know, view the fields. I think it's mostly been done on a personal level. I mean, I know when I went to Ohio, it wasn't at the expense of Midwest, it was my expense. And you know, we did that here in Chicago because we were here. So this is actually the first time that we're actually having somebody go out from operations to go and check the fields. And I know that it was a recommendation from members of this body, the MAP members, that recommended that, you know, just operations should go and do the checks, and that's why we had Gino and Frank Abange at the time, who was part of operations, to go. So we do try to keep our expenses at the bare minimum. That way Midwest has all the finances that it needs to run its affairs. So I just wanted to put that out there. But again, great question, Dr. Ennis.
Yeah, thank you, Priscilla. That was the same direction I was going. So for the record, just like President said, it's the very, very first time. And before that happened, it was brought up in the meeting sometime in, I think, October or November of last year, that it was brought up, and they had a conversation. And I think a gentleman came up that why do we need to have up to 3 people to go and inspect? And the number was cut down. But it was made known that it would be sponsored by a trip by the Midwest. And at the same time, it's the very, very first time, because before then, it's been personal expenditures, like the president said. So great contribution, everyone. And if there's nothing else about that point, we move on to the next one. So we are coming back now on the amended proposal to vote on the amended proposal. So if the electoral committee is there, they should indicate. If not, I'll take it up from here.
I think you should go ahead, Val. I don't see Mr. Silvanus here. I don't know what happened. While you're preparing for that, I will step out of the call and call him and just find out, because they still have to do an update from the electoral committee. So I know that he was supposed to reach out to members of that committee, but he hasn't come back to the call. So I don't know if he's having some difficulties or something going on.
All right, personnel. So, excuse me. Normally during this setup, we always do an open vote. People just say a yeah or nay to it. We don't create an anonymous poll like for people to go vote on it. It's just open. So once again, the proposal is to increase the number of players from those who are between 30 and 35 years from 3 to 4. That is the key proposal that was discussed last meeting, and we are voting for it this meeting. So if nobody has any question or no clarification, we'll go straight into voting on this article, and I'll call the various teams, or you call your team and you tell me if it's a yes or a no, if you support the idea, if you vote for the idea, or you do not. It's very simple and it's very clear. Yes, go ahead. Somebody wants to say something?
Yeah, sorry, it's me, SJ. So it's just one vote per team, right?
Yes, one vote per team. That's very correct.
All right.
So please just call your name, call your team, and give a yeah or nay. Once again, the sponsored proposal from the operations is to increase the number of players between the ages of 30 and 35 from 3 to 4. The full details of it was on the forum. It was discussed before. So if anybody have any doubts, again, we clarify it right now. If not, we'll move on to the voting part of it.
SG.
Yeah,
Yes,
do we have the guests, our guest teams voting as well, or is it just in-house teams for now?
Oh no, just in-house teams.
Yeah, SG.
No. SG, I think this is a procedural vote.
Oh, procedural. Okay, yeah.
It impacts the guest team, so guest team should be allowed to vote.
Every team participating for 2026 will be part of the vote. Please,
that's correct.
It's for the election that guest teams don't vote, but for this one they should. Yeah.
Neville, go ahead, please.
Yeah, SJ, I still have concern about the barrier that they put, because I'm still gonna use last year. It was open. They could use from 20 something to up to like below 34. And so I completely don't see why they have to put a barrier this time around. That's my only concern. It wasn't
open last year.
That is not true, though.
Please, gentlemen, I'll give a response to it. President Neville, thank you for that. But I just want to clarify that since the start of Midwest, it has never been open. It's always been 30 at the very minimum. It has never even been 29 and a half. It's been a minimum of it's been a minimum of 30. The only thing is we said three teams. Three players only. This is the first time that operations is proposing that it goes. Please, if you're not speaking, please mute yourself. Yeah, so this is the first time operations is proposing that they're sponsoring a bill for it to move from 3 players between the ages of 30 and 35 to 4. But I think everyone will bear with me. I don't know if I'm confused a little bit about this, but I'm very, very sure, I'm certain. And even when the operations list, when teams send their list in, nobody has ever sent a player that's been accepted who is below 30. Mr. Neville, to my knowledge, that's very, very clear. Except maybe there's somebody else with another opinion about it. John, you boys, go ahead.
Yeah, so has the election started? Because I'm here to give my yes.
Oh no, we haven't started officially. Just want to clarify any doubts before we move on.
All right.
Team manager
Yeah.
Johnny is ready, man.
I see questions asked at this meeting that I thought if these participants were in the last meeting, this issue was
Mhm.
already trashed there, and I thought at this point in time we would have just been going ahead with voting. Because if we're asking too many questions, we're keeping people here that we're supposed to be off this meeting. So I think let's try to, narrow things out and get out of here soon.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. But it's good that everybody is clarified. Okay, so voting is starting officially. So please, I'll call the different teams right here that I see in front of me. If I don't call your team at the end, please just let me know. Chicago, who is voting? Just say your name and then you give a yeah or a no.
NS Jum, yeah.
Let me write it down, please. Vetsa. Vetsa. Iowa.
Yeah, I
Iowa.
vote. I vote Neville.
Yes or no?
A neutral.
Okay. Not a vote, please. Either you are a yes or you are a no. Neutral,
No.
neutral does not count.
No, they can be a neutral.
Iowa can abstain. Iowa
they
can
abstain.
abstain.
I must not vote. Who's trying to say
Iowa
that?
can abstain. Yeah.
I will find you, my brother.
SJ, can I vote for Vector?
It's simply not. Neville is simply not.
President Beto for Vesta.
Okay, Vesta. Bertrand. A yeah or a no? I didn't hear you, sir. Vetsa, I didn't hear you.
Yes, a yes.
Okay. Windy City.
Mutia, yes.
Cheesehead.
Sustain.
I didn't hear you clearly.
I think sustain pass.
Can somebody help me? I didn't hear that clearly.
I didn't hear it, she said.
Yes.
She said pass, not pass.
Oh, pass. Okay.
It's refusing to vote, so pass.
Okay.
I mean, he's neutral too.
Yes.
So the new teams that need players are not. They don't that need numbers and need younger players don't want this vote. I'm confused.
They're abstaining.
Okay.
Michigan.
Lionel for Michigan is a yes.
Columbus.
Amin is a no.
Bamok. Cleveland.
I'm from Cleveland is a yes.
West Michigan.
We'll say yes.
Who's the? Oh, say okay. Which teams am I missing?
Cindy.
Oh, Cindy.
Kingsley say yes.
I didn't hear New Boys.
Thank you, Doc. New Boys.
John, yes.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm missing 3 teams. Which 3 teams.
Damba FC. Yes.
Yeah, Damba FC. Damba FC? Absent.
Columbus Rangers. You don't call Columbus Rangers.
Damba FC absent. Columbus Rangers? Columbus Rangers absent. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm missing one team.
You call the host team, it's
Oh, Michigan? Yes, I did.
Bamok. You don't call Bamok.
Yes,
What about Columbus?
I did. Yes, Columbus. I mean, I did call
Cleveland.
Bamok. Nobody. Bamok. Yeah, that's the last team. Nobody replied from Bamok. Bamok. So Bamok.
Hello? Hello?
Yes. Yes. Is that Bamok? Yes.
Yeah, Bamok, yes. I've got issue with my phone.
Okay, that's Zach. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So all the 14 teams have voted. I'll just read it fast. Chicago Ernest, yes. Bertrand Vetster, yes. Motia Windy City, yes. Lionel Michigan, yes. Atanga Cleveland, yes. Osei West Michigan, yes. Kingsley Stinde, yes. John Newboys, yes. Zach Bamok, yes. For the no's, Ami Columbus, no. Absentee, Damba FC and Columbus Rangers. And then neutral, like no vote, Joseph from Cheesehead and Neville from Iowa. So if we tally all the motion to amend that part, we bring in 4 players between the ages of 30 and 35. It's approved. Mr. President, over to you.
Thank you very much.
Now, glad so,
Mr. President.
Yeah, so guys, again, operations, we're doing this based on concerns that came from the various teams. So hopefully it would help to build a stronger tournament. And we thank everyone for their vote. So as you can proceed.
Thank you very much. So the next part of the agenda, guys, just give me a sec. We already touched every part of the agenda. So we are on item number 14, other matters. This is a point where anyone can bring up anything to be talked about. So we can use 15 minutes to finish this and then we round up for the meeting. It's been a very, very long night. President, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, FJ. I just wanted to ask, I forgot, is it Humphrey or the host team or Gino? Last year, President Val from Columbus did a very good job with the medical team. How far is Michigan with the medical team? Because this year it seems as if Raymond Fru and Dr. Mutia are gonna play. So I just want to make sure they are safe.
Okay, yeah. So do we in Michigan here, we do have what we call the healthcare committee. So
oh my God.
So those guys,
Sorry.
they would be. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, please. If you're not speaking, just mute yourself, including me.
Yeah. So there's a healthcare committee that's going to be taking care of that, right? They will be acting as first responders on the field and then be in charge of, in case of serious issues, not just on the field, but also in the village, first responders as, they will be in charge of that, attending to people who have injuries or maybe calling 911 in case of severe issues that happen to both players or just maybe someone at the vendor's village who is having fun, So yeah, we have a committee for that in place already here in Michigan.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Humphrey, we need those massage tables though, right? Columbus was a benchmark, so make sure you have those masseurs, for all the players,
Yeah. Okay, we'll see.
Mr. Gaius, your hand is up. Gaius, Chicago, your hand is up. Gaius?
Guys, don't forget your hand up, man.
Yeah, sure. Do we have any other comments, contributions?
Now I'm ready. I couldn't find myself. Just a general question though to Michigan, to the host group. So there'll be a tent. There'll be the entertainment and vendors tent, correct? Because I heard a lot about dedicated catering and just two numbers. Will there just be a general tent where there will be food and drinks and everything like we've always had? Because I'm bringing in some people that want to see what we actually do, African culture.
I don't understand the question.
Let me take it again.
Mhm.
So when they were talking about catering and food, you
Mhm.
guys said there will be some dedicated people, like two people that will be in charge of those. My question though has to do with the vendors tents on the field, on the side of the field, like we've always had with vendors that are selling different kinds of food.
Mhm.
Is that gonna be available, or are we going strict health or whatever it is?
Yeah, we will have vendors that will be selling different stuff. The catering service, I think President Bertrand was asking about is, let's say you come with your team Chicago here and you want to eat, I don't know, jollof rice in your hotel as dinner. Then there's a caterer, somebody you can pay in Michigan to cook jollof rice and come deliver to you in your hotel. That's yeah, but at the field you would have people who will be selling whatever they sell. I mean, popov, soya, fish, I don't know, whatever.
Okay,
So, yeah,
all right. Thank you. That was my concern. Thanks.
yeah.
Any other concern? Any other questions, comments, contributions?
LG, my hand is up.
President, go ahead.
So, in line of that same question that Mr. Obi just asked, Michigan, are we going to have like a tent that's probably going to be where you can sit and drink and just listen to music? You know how like they have like in the vendors village where, we're not asking if you guys will bring display of people to dance like they did in Minnesota or in Columbus, but it's just going to be like a general tent where you can just go there and sit and have music at the background and eat, or everybody will just eat where the vendors are selling. Do we have something planned?
We have we would have a tent for the general public. So there will be a tent where you just have tables and chairs, right, available in the around that vendor area. That's what we actually were discussing. We were at the park Friday, as a matter of fact, to look at that and then figure out where that tent will be. So there will be a tent for the general public. If you get your fish, you can go there, sit down and drink, or maybe you just want to have beer or discuss with your friends, have fun. You can go in there and sit. It's just first come, first serve. There will be chairs and tables there for people to sit down and eat, if that's what you're referring to. So yes, that will be available. It will be chaotic if we don't put something like that and people you buy a fish, you hold it in your hand and eat. So yes, there would be some tent for general sitting, President.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, hey Humphrey. So I know you guys are working hard, man. One thing too, right? Just from past events, just cheers, right? So make sure you guys get enough cheers, and then one way for cheers not to run away is for them to, you guys can zip tie them. I know people can cut them up, but just make sure those cheers are all like, zip tied or whatever. Just something to chain tie them or something. But yeah, just get more than enough cheers, because I think that was one of the things that, when people hang out, especially after games, and this year we'll try to make the games more earlier so people can hang out a little bit more and spend some time so you can have some money in their back pockets, right? So just make sure you have chairs for people to sit so that way people are not just driving off after they're done for the games.
Yeah, definitely. That is exactly what one of the topics we were talking about on Friday at the park, how we're going to secure the chairs to make sure that those chairs actually stay where they are in the vendor village and they are used for that purpose. One of the things which we saw also in Columbus last year was people were carrying chairs to put around the field during the finals, so that's kind of difficult for the host team also, to locate all these chairs after the games and then, try to put them back where they're supposed to be. So yes, we are thinking about that, how we're going to secure those chairs.
Yeah, when I see Chicago, I beg, because Chicago, they be used to moving chairs around. They be known for that.
Actually, people from
newborns.
Michigan, they take 4 shares from here when Chicago hosts, carry and go Michigan. So we'll be looking for those shares when we come to Michigan.
We have like
President,
few minutes.
I chair them in broke. What should have a chair? Michigan people should have a chair them broke for Chicago. Man, for the tea close. Just chair them.
Humphrey,
Mr. Ami, your hand is up.
we are bad down and police them. Okay, well, be careful. Now we are not police them. They're bad, they're high.
Mr. Ami, your hand is up.
Yeah, there's a question for the operations team, especially Mr. Gino. I heard President Bertrand mention that we could have individuals with a valid passport, like a passport that is not expired, I'm assuming, but without with an expired visa, that they could use that. He said that was used last year. I did not know that was something that happened last year. So I'm just trying to understand if that's if that's something that happened, and moving forward, if we can bring individuals with a valid passport, be it Cameroon or any other country, without a valid visa.
No, so the passports, they have to be valid and they have to have a visa. That's kind of what we decided. So valid passport, valid visas.
So when you talk of valid visa, does it mean the visa should be active? It's not expired?
Pretty much, yes, sir.
That's not right, though. That's not what's on that document. It doesn't say valid visa. It says valid foreign passport. Valid visa is an addition, but that's not on the document.
Valid. Well, hang on one second. Yeah, hang on. Going to the visa. Yeah. So we didn't. Okay. Just let's be clear. It's a valid foreign passport, right?
Yes.
So you were asking if the visas we did not touch on that in terms of we having the visas in the passport be valid. We're hoping that, obviously hope the passport that comes in would have a valid visa for the most part, right? Because for the most part, I mean, last year, I don't remember if we actually had a passport that had an invalid visa. I did not look into that last year.
I got somebody coming in from a visa-free country. This is things that I have a machine to scan passports for validity. If you guys will need that.
And I think, Gino, what we did last year, we just look at the validity of the passports. And I think this point was raised last year during this meeting. And so the standard for NVT is valid passport, valid visa. But some people raised the concern last year that we do have some of our brothers who came through Mexico, some who came through, other means, and they want to participate. As long as they have a valid passport, then they should be able to participate. I think that's the standard we're going by this year, right? So
thank you.
I don't think we'll be looking at visas.
Thank you.
So just have a passport that is not expired, please.
All right.
Last year we had, and last year, so this ID thing, please, we have to take it serious this year. We went to Columbus last year. People were coming and showing us renewal receipts that my ID card has expired. I went to renew. This is the receipt that the SOS gave me. Please, we cannot work with that. It has to be an ID that has a picture on it. You cannot come with a piece of paper. Your name is on it, but it doesn't have any picture ID. We cannot even verify. We do have the app to scan the IDs for validity, and that's what we are going to be employing this year again. So please, let's just go by the ID that we have on that document.
Yeah, Humph, just to clarify, right? So if that ID card, let's say you went to renew or whatever, right? It's taken, usually they have stamps in there, or they cut it, and they'll give that back to you, and they'll give you the receipt, which will show that the day you renewed it, and then have all your pertinent information on there, right? So that's something that what Humphrey is saying is that people just showed up with
random papers, but they didn't have the actual ID that was cut, which, if you get pulled over by cops, you'll be showing them that same deal for them to let you go, right? So so me and Humphrey or the operation team and Raymond, we would scan that ID. It's going to show that the ID is expired. But if you could show proof that you've been to DMV and you renewing that that ID card, then they give you a proof of whatever, right? Like, so when I renew mine, they just give me a piece of paper, right, that I have to put them together with my expired ID card that I hand over to authorities if I'm getting pulled over, if I need some ID, not always getting pulled over, but that's kind of what he's talking about. So just make sure that if you tell your players if they are renewing their IDs, they should have the actual ID that's been that's been invalidated, but then you also have a copy of the renewal slip, right, Humphrey?
Yes, and then one other thing, that's the good point, Gino. So we do the scan, right? So when we scan the ID, the information is going to match. The only difference is going to indicate red that it is expired, but the information will match. So the information will match, and that information should be the information that is also on the renewal slip that you get from the Secretary of State. So we are still, even if the ID is expired, we are still going to scan it, and you should have the renewal slip, which the date should make sense also on that. And the information on the renewal slip should match what you have on the ID.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So yeah, do we answer your question?
Yes, you did.
Okay, thank you. And then Obi, we'll connect and see what you got, and yeah, we'll talk on the back end.
We are rounding up. Do we have?
Can I ask a last question here?
Yeah.
I might have missed this. Do we have any kind of insurance for this tournament?
In terms of individual insurance or the insurance, because I know each location, they have the liability, right? Are you talking about like personal insurance to cover each player or teams, or per se, or are you talking about the liability that Michigan has to have for the facility? Because I know there's a liability insurance that they have to have.
I'm actually talking about both of them, the liability and then the ones that covers players in case they get injured on the field of play.
No,
I
we
can
don't have
talk
that
about
yet.
the liability for Michigan. So
yes, liability.
Michigan has a general liability insurance. That was the requirement for the city to award the park for that tournament. Now, what this liability covers is the park itself, the property of the park. And the city of Livonia is assigned as the payee on that. So they have a minimum amount that they require. So when you get the insurance, you have to send it to them and they have to approve the insurance. So we have already done that. So we have the insurance for the park. The liability is the general liability. So it's an event insurance, a general liability insurance for the park with the city of Livonia as a payee. That's what we have. That's what was required. So now when it comes to player insurance, that's a topic for Midwest, and I cannot answer that. Yeah.
Okay, so let me take that. Let me take that real quick, guys. So we've done some work on that, but
so email it then.
Okay, we're speaking. Okay, can you hear me? I heard a background noise there. So this was brought up last year, and I was speaking with Pressy, we had to look into this. So I had reached out about late in December to a few insurance companies that I had worked with initially about this insurance, but at that point, they have to kind of write their policies closer to the timeline, when the competition is. So I'll reach back out to them in terms of the individual insurance, and then they'll put together, kind of what the premiums would be and whatnot. Then I'll reach back out to this group and let you guys know. But again, that's not going to be your primary insurance. That's going to be a supplementary insurance that can cover folks, whatever. But I don't know how we're going to disburse the cost. But once I get that information, I'll communicate it to this group. So I'll reach back out to them.
And just to add to that, we've looked at it a lot, and it's very expensive. It's very expensive. We tried that. We're going to do that in the Columbus tournament. we couldn't because the cost is just too high. We also tried that when Chicago hosted, it was just too expensive. So we always try to encourage teams or individuals to, kind of have their own insurance that would cover them in case something happens. Just like, you're out there and, something happened to you, you do have an insurance to cover. But again, it's not something that, we don't want to look at. If Midwest as a family, were willing to incur that cost, then yes, we would present, the quote to this family,
Yeah,
and we'll make
we'll
a
present the
decision
quotes.
as a team. But yeah, just keep in mind it's price.
Exactly.
Can I say something? I don't even know why we're going there. We've tried it multiple times since from inception, since from 2023 Minnesota. It's just too expensive. It's really expensive. I don't even suggest anybody to waste his time to go to look for that thing because it's if we have to do it, what we have in our coffers would cost us half of that fee. So it's personal. Teams should try to do what they can do with their personal insurance. It's global insurance for Midwest it's very expensive.
It is expensive, Danny. And I reached out again. If folks want to see that, I don't want people to think that we're not doing what we say we're doing. We can get that quote out and share it out next time if you guys want to see it. Otherwise, like I said, it's just expensive. So, but
brothers,
hey, we'll put it out there.
Brother, the issue is he is just asking whether is there an insurance. The question is just yes or no. It is just that simple.
Yeah.
Then maybe part B would have been that, hey, if we say no, please, can we get an insurance? We'll now say, okay, we'll get you a code. I will send it back to you. Let me say the code is 50,000. We say, okay, 50,000 divided by 14 groups. Each group, are you able to pay for 4,000? Now, all the groups again back will say, no, we owe. Then that's how we'll just key that point.
Thank you, Mr. Roland. Thank you.
Yeah. No, Presi, no, and I get your point, Presi. Again, not that we not trying to look into it though, and not taking your point differently, but we'll do that. We'll put it on the table. I don't think we've actually put it on the table. We've looked into it. We've talked about it, from an executive level. But Presi, great point. We'll bring it to the table so everybody can see what it is and then make that decision. I think that's what you need to see. Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Amin, if you have no further question, please just lower your hand. All right. Thank everyone for great contributions. Very valid points. Great conversation today. Productive meeting. Want to thank everybody. If there's no other contribution, I'll call on the president to close the meeting for today.
All right, guys. So I appreciate everybody for their time. It's not easy to be on the phone for 3 hours. It means that we had a lot to talk about and everybody's voice counts. Thank you guys so very much for your participation. We'll just reach out to the election committee. They were not able to pick up when I called again. So we encourage them through the forum. They can give their updates in the forum since they were not able to do that today. But again, thank everyone. All we can ask is let's just keep sharing ideas on how to make this tournament successful. This is our tournament. It's for all of us. If it fails, it's all of us. If it works well, it's all of us. So we are asking for everybody to, you have an idea, please don't hesitate to share with Michigan, put it in the forum, call Humphrey, call Clement, call whoever the president, call any one of them and share that information. And I'm sure they'll be glad to take it and work on it. So thank you guys so very much. And let's continue to make Midwest be a better organization. So thank you. And the meetings are adjourned. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Chris.
Good night, guys.
It's Dan Capo, I bet end the recording for now. Thank you so much.
No, I'm talking now.
Thanks, SG.
No, not missing the start now.
You want to talk, say, then you pull we and one Obama go get the Congo, time for